Hey modelers, welcome to the ModelGeek Scale Modeling Podcast. Here, we will be discussing anything and everything as it relates to the world of scale modeling. Before we start, we would like to take a moment and thank all of you, the listeners out there, for your support. We would also like to thank our great sponsors for their support. Detailed Scale, Furball Aero-Design, Tamiya USA, SprueBrothers, and Basis by Bill. Please have a look at their websites and have a look at all their fine products. Now, buckle up and ride along as we journey into the world of scale modeling. We really hope that you will download and make us a part of your modeling bench sessions. Now, here are the geeks, Darren Cook, Scott Samo, Andrew Frill, and Andrew White.
Hey folks, what's up, man? This is you got Nemo here in the seat today for episode number 60 of the ModelGeeks podcast. I'm here with three of my esteemed co-hosts. I got Darren, old D-Ran, Whitey, and of course I've got El Presidente sitting in for Frill. He's like dodging lava and volcanoes.
Yes,
and stuff,
Joe the Volcano.
Iceland or whatever, yeah. Joe the Volcano or something, yeah. Anyway, what's up, fellas? How's everybody doing?
Great.
I'm not dodging volcanoes.
Good. Or lava. Holy jeez.
Yeah.
Although that would be kind of, that would be pretty interesting. Of course, I've only been to Hawaii once, but I didn't get to see any volcanoes spewing stuff. Yeah. But that it was pretty neat. But
yeah, those
anyway.
tourists down there off the coast of New Zealand, that's all they want to do was go do a little sightseeing too, until things went really wrong. Yeah, really fast.
No kidding,
I'm the kind of guy that likes to watch my lava flows on TV.
Yep.
Yeah, give me National Geographic.
Yeah. Look at the pictures, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hopefully, Frill, I'm sorry you're not with us, but you're here in spirit. And again, watch out for floating lava, and who knows what other kind of items might be spewing out of freaking volcanoes. But
yeah. If I can, I just want to say the same thing. Have a great time and everything.
Yeah, have fun, man. Have fun. Cool. All right. Well, hey, let's. We've got an interesting topic that we'll get to a little later on. This is going to kind of be, it's going to be fun. So let's make sure, and we'll save that one to the end. But the bottom line is, like, the zombies are coming over the hill, and you got time to grab 5 kits. So what 5 kits are you bringing? And we'll dive into that with some other interesting tidbits whenever we get to the main topic. But anyway, on to model crap. Darren, brother, what you working on, man?
What am I working on? Really not a lot, because I've been so dadgum busy with work. Still got that F4. So I ain't gonna make Nats, I don't think. Just ain't gonna make it. So
well, how much do you have left on the F4?
Just about.
Too
It's
much?
It's going into paint barn.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. So,
no way.
Yeah, so that's really I got a bunch of stuff started, but that's the one that I'm trying to focus on. I'm going to still push to see if I can make it, but we'll see.
I know the last couple episodes, we always joke about the whole group build thing and all that, and sometimes for some folks they hate group builds, and others, probably like me, it's a little bit of a motivator because I just have so many kits. I'm just like, well, I can't figure out which one to build, so the group build helps me focus. But yeah, I'm shooting a big old flat donut on this one. I had no time to build. Just being in Jacksonville, I couldn't put anything together that would have been, I don't know, to my standard, or what to try to do something like an F4 or some kind of
something new. You got stuff. You got stuff to take. You're talking about new stuff, yeah.
Well, a big killer build.
Oh yeah.
I got nothing.
Oh, the group build. Yeah. I'm sorry. I
Wait a
wasn't
minute,
tracking.
y'all ain't making the group build?
Yeah, I got nothing.
But Scott, you made for the not a zero group build. You made for that one. You made that one. That's a positive thing. It's good.
I kept Tim, I told you I was going to do it, and it's been 10 years, and I finally made one of the group build things. Yeah. So yes,
and it's absolutely beautiful. And I tell you, I keep walking around the model room down here cheering you. I really do.
You know, I can't. You came over the other day, and my dumbass didn't even show it to you.
Oh, I saw it.
I didn't even put. Oh, you saw it?
He says, I saw it.
Yeah. Believe me, I kept looking at it, and you're talking about some of the other planes. I'm like, damn, that damn Key 84 was beautiful.
Oh man. Well, good. I'm glad you like it. I'll be happy. I'm certainly excited to bring it to Nats and show it off. So at least I have one of the group builds. I made it. So
that's right.
That's right. Good. But I will take my beatings with not making the group build for the MiG killers. So yeah.
No,
that's a tough
make it.
No way. There's no way he's gonna make it. He brought his F4 over the other day when I was mixing the paint for him. There's no way he's making it. No way. It's not even. It's still like plastic.
This is embarrassing.
I know.
It's not only on stat, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he makes it, we'll probably be able to continue to smell the paint gassing off.
I don't feel bad having you haul my F8 along for
it. I didn't say I wasn't going to make it.
There's no
I said
way.
it's getting tight.
It's getting tight, yeah. Clocks, it's amazing how fast a year goes by.
I'm telling you.
In terms of just modeling. So,
yeah.
You're like, oh, shit, I got a year to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Then all of a sudden it's June and you're going, wait a minute, I haven't even cracked the box on that thing yet.
Right.
And Nats is in 2 months. Ding, ding.
Yeah. It's so funny. Talk about procrastinating, right? It seems like it's so true. I was like, man, I'm going to have plenty of time. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to be in Jacksonville for like 5 months, the first part of the year total. And, I just nothing. But, I did get, like I said, got the K84. But anyway, I'm bogarting all your time, Darren. So sorry. Anything else other than the F4? What else are you working on?
No, that's really about it. I've,
cool.
I broke open the bags and did a in-box review of that 72nd scale F-35A from Tamiya.
Yeah, to take like here, just in case folks are not aware. Sorry, I'm gonna shift gears. We'll just do it real quick, unless you want to do it later. But
go ahead.
No time like the present, right? Tell us about what you did and where it's going to be and all this stuff for folks that are listening.
Okay, so if you're following around in the ModelGeeks Model Shack on Facebook or the page, you've seen some posts that we put together the ModelGeeks podcast Facebook or YouTube channel. Now that channel actually it's been sitting there dormant for probably about almost going on 18 months. It's been there for a long time, just parked, but finally got in there and brushed out all the cobwebs and put a coat of paint on the place and so on and so forth. And so, we got a place now to put our podcast on, like if you're in the living room up there, whatever, you can listen to it on the television or through your phone on YouTube. And we're also, that's where we'll be putting all of our tools, tips, techniques, videos, and box reviews, you name it. That's a place for us to park it and just kind of help. And live streams. I really want to kick that live stream thing off again. It's a lot of fun interacting with the listeners out there. So, that'll park there too. So
cool, man. Stuff. Well, thanks for the update. Yeah, I think we're all a little bit guilty of, we've told folks because every time I go somewhere, they're always like, "Hey, you guys going to do videos? Are you going to do technique videos or just updates or whatever?" And we have the best intentions of doing that. I think it's finding the time.
That's right.
To do it, and then it's just out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, and we all get busy. The next thing you know, it's a year, and we're like, oh man,
it's like Nat's coming up on you.
Haven't even done it, yeah. And so I agree. We all need to. We need to do that because I get asked a lot, like, oh, why don't you do a video for that or whatever? And I'm like, oh yeah, we should do that. And I'm like, oh geez, find the time, man.
I've got high hopes for it. So there's a lot of folks out there probably don't know that the channel's there with our listeners. So please go over there. Oh, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 members or 1,000 subscribers. That's the goal right now. So we're
cool.
We're pushing.
Good deal. Awesome. Well, anything else?
Nope. That is it from my desk.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks for the update. And it's great to see you again, Santa Claus.
Yeah. Hey,
you need another. What'd you get a haircut yesterday? You need another one?
The beard's fixing to go. So.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just too hot.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Yeah.
So.
Cool, man.
This is probably his last week.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Well, again, good to see you. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, man.
And all right, moving on to Whitey. What's up, man? What you been working on?
I'm still in work on the Mavis, just like last year. And summertime, so weekends getting gobbled up. Like I just got back today from I was down the Outer Banks, OBX,
Holy
Carolina,
geez.
and so that's a whole weekend where I didn't get anything going on this thing, and I'm coming up on a deadline as well because this is for the group build, for the club group build display, for Nats and for future shows for the year. But I'm getting there. I think I'm gonna have it in Tim's truck on time. I shot it last week with a just rattle canned it with silver at AS12 Tamiya because I want to
do some chipping.
Do the chipping on it and really chip it up and make it look nasty. So that's where it sits now is covered in silver. And
do you think you're going to make the group build?
I think so
for that one.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. The guy who hates the group builds, who doesn't want to do the group builds, is the guy who's going to complete both the MiG Killer and the club group build. So
probably
we all suck, and Whitey wins. Whitey's the king.
I'll try. I'll see here, man.
I just think it's funny. The dude who's like, group builds suck. Hey, but I completed all of my group builds for this year.
I mean, it's like I said, they do motivate you to build something. Like I've been wanting to build that Mavis for a while. And so having that topic of not a Japanese Zero.
Yeah,
okay, roger that. A 72 skill Japanese plane. Bang, here we go.
Yeah.
I should have took the easier route and did like the, I don't know, a
KI-84
Val or something, or a KI-84 like everyone else is.
Yeah.
But I thought, all right, that's a cool flying boat, patrol plane. Yeah, there you go, Japanese Mustang, cheater.
Yeah.
So that's in work, and I think my goal, I guess, with me, I need to push myself to work after work during the week. I typically don't do much weekday modeling. Because I get home from work, man, hang with the wife for a little bit, get lazy, fall asleep on the couch, and wake up for dinner, and I'm in bed kind of early because I roll out early in the morning. So I mean, if I'm going to get into painting, that to me, I like to have all day to paint. I don't want to rush anything, So if after work, I mean, I guess I can get a light coat on and then come in the next day and get the next coat on and, doing that whole building up process. Bottom line is I don't want to half-ass anything. Now I could shoot this thing green tonight and throw some gray on the underside tonight and probably call it good, get some decals on it this weekend and throw it in Tim's box and say, there you go. But I don't want to be that guy either. I want to do my best on it. So that's what I'm pressing toward anyway. In the meantime, while waiting for, certain things to dry, paint to dry or parts to dry and things like that, I do have a 1/350 scale submarine over here, a Seawolf sub. And I did shoot some hull red on the bottom of that the other day, which, I'm not a ship builder, right? So when I open up a bottle of hull red, I see brown. I don't know about the rest of y'all, right?
Yeah.
But surprisingly enough, you get shooting that on there, and I primed the thing up with some Mr. Surface of Gray first. But then you get shooting that stuff, and it does look no shit red. So
it's against that black. It brings the reds out, the warmer stuff. Yeah,
it really does, man.
It's like an illusion. It's pretty cool.
And I want it to be a little bit weathered up too. I'm not doing. I mean, I don't want to do like a museum display thing going here. I want it to be looking like a little bit weathered. Again, not being a ship model, I'm not sure how to approach that, but I'll just look at pictures and and mess around with some paint and some streaking and things like that, and go from there.
Think armor. Just watch some of the night shift stuff. The little rusting streaks coming down and the things that he does. It's a good apply. Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
And Whitey, if you want to know what a hull looks like with some growth on it, just go down to the marina. They're on base.
Oh, there you go.
I've got a y'all sitting over there that all you have to do is go look at it.
You'll hand me a scraper and say, "Come on, get busy."
Oh yeah, that's right. And you'll push the scraper.
Is that the price of membership now down at the yacht club? All right, you got
part of it. Yeah,
scrape barnacles. You got to do your square footage of barnacle scraping.
But sometimes after about a year, the boats the growth is so thick. I mean, it literally comes off in sheets that are about an inch thick.
Wow. Yeah.
It doesn't take long in this water.
Huh. No, not at all.
Another reason why I don't want a boat.
Yep.
Heck
yeah, not doing that. Nope.
No. Cool. Well, awesome. Well, I can hopefully you make it. And just speaking of that group build, how many do you think that we're probably going to have for the group build?
The last time I counted, we were in the 40s. So, and Steve Workman, of course, is he is Mr. Japanese aircraft in our club. Every time I see him, he's working on yet another Japanese
Man, I'm just proud I did one.
But he has just been banging them out. And of course, he knows all the details of each aircraft in his head.
Sweet.
And, he's just knocking them out, and it's awesome. So I think he's going to probably win the I've got the most on the table.
Good deal. Cool. Well, thanks, Steve. Yeah, keep cranking them out, man. Well, anyway, Tim, what else you got going on? What's on your bench?
Well, a number of things. I last what was it? Friday? I think it was last Friday. Yeah, last Friday at the meeting, and last Friday a week ago at the High Tide Games, the game store. I brought in a bunch of monogram P-51Bs so that Victor and I could basically divvy them up and build them for the game that he and I are trying to figure out.
Okay.
Well, anyway, he said, "Hey, I got to go to a meeting. I'll be right back." And I sat there and I looked at him and go, "How hard is it to build one of these things?" I broke out the glue and literally, and I hit the timer on my phone because I was curious. 15 minutes later, I had construction done, ready for paint. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see how many more of these. I had them all done, and so I had 8 of them completed by the time I left High Tide Games.
Holy goodness!
And, yeah. So, and you got to remember these are all going to be clouded up for the canopy and the wheels up. So it was just a matter of putting cement in the right places, clipping off doors that aren't going to go on, and clipping off the prop blades, and then sanding it all down, right? And so anyway, that of the 9, because I also had one that was a broken one that I decided to repaint and redo. Yeah. So there's 9 total, and of the 9, one is in the paint shop. It's one I just held up to show you guys, and the other 8 are primed, and they're just ready for me to bring them into the paint shop as I finish this one. And I'm just going to try and focus on one at a time, because one of the things I've learned doing batch builds in the past, that if I try to do them all in parallel, I invariably paint one or more of them with 2 schemes, so that it's a mix of schemes instead of the correct scheme, whatever that is. I'll paint a spinner the wrong color and I'll put a stripe in the wrong place or something like that.
That's funny.
So I have to then I can build in parallel, but once I get to the paint shop, it's okay. Now I focus on one aircraft at a time until it's done and ready for decals. And then decals can go back in parallel again. Yeah. Speaking of stickers, a Hasegawa P-47 went into the sticker stage. It's it's got olive drab over neutral gray. It's going to be in Robert S. Johnson's markings.
Cool.
With 20 something kills on it. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's that again for the game. It was I finished that one up over the weekend, and like I said, it's ready for stickers. It's got the clear coat on. It's looking pretty good. I'm looking forward to playing around with some weathering on it. And then this last Friday, I sat down and knocked out an FW 190 A4. That one took me about 30 minutes, and then a Spitfire 9 Charlie that took like 10 minutes, because I mean I built so many of these things that I literally just threw it together, and it needs a little filler, so I'm gonna that's where it's at. It's sitting on my desk waiting for some filler, and then both of those can go into the paint shop. Wow. And then the last thing I'm working on is this thing that's just right here with the orange and black. Yeah, that's my 3D printer. And so I'm learning how to 3D print stuff. I have printed one thing so far, a scraper.
A scraper.
That you use to scrape prints off of the bed. It's one of the things you're. So it's like, yeah, well, that's a useful tool. And now I'm in. Oh gosh, what's the vapor lock? Because I can't decide what's next. And whether, do I want to make a storage thing for some of my modeling tools? Because you can make custom made storage bins that fit in your drawers, and they're, anyway, I'm that one is the OCD in me just wants to go crazy with that. And then there's the,
you must love the Container Store.
I do. Oh God, I do. Don't turn me loose in the Container Store, because I will come out very broke.
Allison's the same way, man. Arms. She's just like, you just wind her up, let her go. She's like, she's just like little Miss Organizer, She's, honey, let me just organize your closet for you. I'm like, cool, have at it. So I came home from I don't know where I was, and she had put all these intricate shelving, and I was just like, wow, okay. I got lucky, because I would just like, whatever the rack came with the house, I would just be like, meh, that's good enough, Yeah. Nope. She ripped out every closet that we have in this house. She ripped out all of the built-in kind of metal shelving. Yeah, she ripped it all out and put all custom, every single one. I'm just like, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah,
it works.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's either I make some organization stuff, or I try to find some things to download and print. One thing I wanted to try and do was print a 1/200th scale B-17 again for the game to be the bomber that you try to shoot down. Yeah. And it's one of those things where I can find them, but when I look at them online, they just kind of look wonky. They don't really look like they'd be they're not to the standard of, hey, I'm a modeler. So I got to find one I can do that with and possibly scale down. We'll see.
Tim, can you really be a gamer and a modeler?
Yes.
You're the first one I've seen try and make that
make that leap.
Make that leap.
So the a lot of gamers that play Frill does too. He does a lot of that, and so does Chris. Chris Twat. They both do a lot of gaming, or want to do gaming, as well as Jake. He likes to do that too. So it's and in their world, when you're talking about gaming, the figures that they use, to them, those are models, right? There's models of figures.
They are. Yeah, I know a lot of, I've seen a lot of guys. We got Justin. Justin's awesome painting those little Warhammer things, man. And those yeah. He just
I asked him, I'm like, dude,
I want to do it, but I'm not spending that kind of money on those little things.
No, like, me neither. Yeah, I'm not.
Go build an airplane. Stop building that figure crap.
There's nothing wrong with figures, but
they're amazing looking too. They're his paint jobs. Yeah. He always talks himself down, where he's like, "Oh, I don't do very good." Shit.
My God, what I love about and why I'm thinking about doing it's all brush technique, brush painting techniques, and that's something I think we as aircraft modelers lose.
Yes,
because we concentrate so much with our airbrush.
Yeah, I don't even paint. I don't even brush paint like a seat. I don't like airbrushing it and masking all the seat belts and.
No, I brush paint my cockpits almost exclusively.
Yeah, I'm starting to change that.
I haven't brush painted. I'm just weird. I probably never brush paint because it's the crispness that I get with the masking the panels that you don't get with, and it takes the thickness of the paint of brush painting. It just blobs the detail. It's not as crisp. So whenever I'm dry brushing, when you get that detail to pop out like that and be very defined, you don't get that with brush painting. So that's why I mask and paint it. So it takes a long time and it's a pain in the ass, but unfortunately,
I do the same thing. I do a lot of masking, and I've learned how to use liquid mask now too with a toothpick and get into corners and stuff. Instead of. But in any case, I think that brush painting skill gets lost to a certain degree, and in those miniatures, I could certainly see where that helps to bring that back or improve it.
Yeah. No,
I was watching this one figure painter on YouTube. What was her name? Lila Mev. And she does amazing stuff. And a couple of the techniques, it's like, I got to learn how to do that on an aircraft model, because I think it would make a difference in how the aircraft looks. But frankly, I haven't had the cojones to try. And however, I got 9 P-51 Mustangs that I got to build, and so one of them, at least one of them, I'm going to try a new. Actually, I should probably just put the gauntlet down and say I'm going to do a new technique on every single one of them.
There you go.
One technique that I want to try new, and just see how it comes out. Because at the end of the day, they're just going to be handled. So they're going to have a nice heavy lacquer clear coat on them, so that I can handle them in the game and not have to worry about them marring the finish and wearing off and that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's at the end of the day, between the 3D printer and the my modeling mojo being very high with a dozen models in a week, I'm
slacker. Total slacker. We're going to have, goodness.
Only 12.
Enough. Only 12. Jeez, Pete. Come on, Tim. Get with the program here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But, well, you'll know why I'm trying to build 12 a week when we talk about the main subject.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right. But that's all. Yeah. That's all.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks, fellas, for the updates. As for me, I'm still cranking away on. Well, I don't know if I'm cranking away, but just got back from Jack's, and again, another great trip. So I'm still working on the 48 scale Tamiya, the 109, the E4, the tropical version, and so hopefully I can finish that up sometime soon. I've just kind of lost a little of the mojo on it. It just seems a little boring now. But I've also been working on the the Hasegawa 32nd scale, an FW190. It's an A6. It's going to have the checkerboard nose, black and white checkerboard nose. So which I'm going to paint, which will be fun. Anyway, so those are kind of the things I'm working on. I think long term, I think I really haven't really put a lot of thought into what I'm going to start next. I'd like to start 2 projects next. I'd like to start a long-term project. So I'm talking like maybe the 53 or one of the Tamiya F-16s, and then something small, keep doing the little smaller, like the Tamiya, 48 scale stuff, just for fun, to keep the fun going. But I want to start another big project like I had with the Mark 14 Spitfire that took super long time to do. Just thinking about it.
You bring up
do it.
When you mention long-term projects like that, along with the short-term one, I've kind of found myself going into that with the H60.
Yeah,
you get to doing just a small, like that rotor head.
Sure,
that
man.
was a kit within itself. I got to put it away for a little while.
But you just slowly. I mean, that's what I did with the Spitfire. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a lot of work, and so I would focus on just one area, and I'd do that for a while, and then I'd have to put it away because it's tedious, But man, it's just when you're finished, you're done. You're just like, holy crap.
So do you look at it and say, damn, that was X number of years.
Yep.
But that's
totally worth it.
That's best. That is the best work I've done.
Yep. Yeah. The ones that I've taken the longest on are definitely the ones I feel are my best work.
You look at Frildo with the tracker.
Oh yeah.
How many was that? He went on almost 2 years.
That thing sucks.
A little
I'm
over 2
kidding.
years.
Man, I'm hearing
awesome.
a topic. I'm hearing a topic for an episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's
what's
just
your long-term project?
Yeah, I think
kind
that's
of
a
magnum
good one.
opus. You know, what are you gonna take forever to work on?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, just kind of sparked something with me. Those
you bet. Well, cool, man. Well, again, thanks for the updates. Let's this is just kind of go around the horn real quick. Just if you guys picked up anything lately. So, Darren, I'll just start with you. Did you pick up anything lately that's worth noting?
I had a great mail call.
Oh, the book, the 56.
Book,
that new book. Yeah.
The 56 Fighter Group of World War II P-47. It's a Jug book, and it's awesome.
Jugs are awesome.
It is awesome. This was made by AK. I bought it straight from them from Spain, and it was 2 weeks. I had it, a week and a half. It got here quick.
Sweet. That's awesome, man.
If folks go over and look on their website, you'll see it, but it comes with the decals.
Sweet.
Yeah, all the decal sheets is to do. I mean, just about
who are they printed by?
Cartograph.
Oh my goodness. Good deal.
Hold on, printed by Cartograph. Yeah.
Cartograph. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it's, really cool stuff.
And where did you get that book again?
I got it from AK.
Okay.
Yep, straight off their website. Cool. There's over in Spain.
Awesome. Good deal.
Anyway, yeah, that's really the only thing I've picked up.
Okay. Cool. Whitey, how about you? You get anything?
Yeah. Well, I came home from the trip, and in the mailbox was a couple items. Firstly was for Frildo and myself. Him and I are both gonna build a P8 Poseidon.
Yeah.
And
group build. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, group build.
Yeah, I got one.
I got one.
Air Graphics Models out of the UK. They do a line of 72nd scale aftermarket items for all sorts of stuff. Really, really sharp looking 72nd scale stuff. And a lot of it lately is, of course, 3D printed. And so they did a 3D printed boarding ladder for the P8.
Sweet. So the kit doesn't come with any kind of boarding ladder or anything?
No,
Huh.
nothing there. And, so the P8 has a boarding ladder that's integral to the fuselage. That kind of, the little door flaps open and it comes on out.
The air stereo.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what so those were in the mail from the UK. I mean, I ordered them a long time ago, and I got to say, I had to ping on them pretty hard too. I was like, hey guys, and they do their stuff in small batches. So they're like, all right, man, we'll get you in the next round of and I'm a patient guy. It's not like I'm building a PA right now, so.
But still, man,
whatever.
How many? Checks in the mail. We'll send it to you.
It's just, well, it was exactly that. Once the money is gone, I want to, shoot me an update. I don't know. Whatever. They're good guys. I'm not bagging on them.
I hear
it. It was definitely something that I completely forgot about them, to be quite honest with you. How we get. And I was like, I always screenshot my, whenever I buy something, I'll screenshot and keep it in a file of shit I've bought on my computer. So I'm going through there and I'm like, oh yeah, Air Graphics Models. And, so like, hey guys, and I put them in the Facebook message. I was like, hey man, I ordered this thing like back in March, guys, and they're like, yeah, bro, we're on it and everything.
Sweet.
Or mate, or whatever they said.
Did you open them, see what they look like?
Yeah. Very nicely done.
Cool.
Very crisp, 3D printed stuff. Of course, intricate, like the railings and everything, really thin.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Got to be real careful with them, cleaning them up, because there is a little bit of cleanup, of course. But yeah. But they look sharp. And I've gotten other items from them. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what else I got from these guys before Air Graphics Models. Again, something 72nd scale it had to have been. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But look at their page if you get a chance. If you're a 72nd scale builder, a lot of modern stuff in particular.
Cool.
They do a lot of cool items. And also in the mailbox was a package from John Struck down there, John's Models in Cantonment / Pensacola, Florida. I follow him on his Facebook page, and he'll post up. John's inventory is largely made up of stashes that he'll go and buy.
Sure,
he'll probably be picking up some of ours someday, which is always great because there's always that's where you find the goodies, man. The stuff that's gone and all that kind of stuff.
That's how I got you that freaking Jaguar from.
Exactly.
It was just
right?
It was stuck it was kind of stuck back, and it wasn't like right there in the. I'm just I spent like 2 hours in that store, and I bought a ton of stuff. It was all hidden Like,
yeah, you got to look in them dark corners.
Yep.
Dark corners and top shelves.
Yep.
Man. That's
and I knew that. I knew to like poke, and so yeah.
So anyway, he had some photos posted up from last week. He's like, "Hey, I just got a new stash in. They'll be on the shelf this weekend." And he, he'll always throw pictures up there. So I'm zooming in and I'm looking, and I saw a couple of items in there that I wanted, which was I like X-planes, Edwards Air Force Base early days and all that. So he had the Eduard 48F X1 that I'd been looking for quite a while. So I grabbed one of those, and then.
Oh, that's right. And you got, the other one that you got too, you've been looking for.
Yeah. And underneath that was a XF-85 Goblin, real goofy looking parasite fighter experimental deal. And I could care less about that thing, but after seeing it last year out at the museum and out there in Omaha, I was like, man, I remember walking around that thing and I was like, what a unique deal, man.
Yeah.
And then, and I remember coming home and Googling, all right, someone must have made a kit of that, right? And, it's close. It's an older special hobby kit, which, from the 90s, same with the Eduard kit as well, about the same time frame. So they're not like, they're rough. Like, man, they'll no locating pins, none of that stuff. All the wings are all butt joined.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a throw together kit, but, it's small enough to it's, easy enough to work with. But just an interesting subject. I thought that would look kind of cool sitting there. And it comes with a resin cast dolly that they like stuck it on. So I got those two things were sitting in the mail when I came home. So I'm kind of
cool.
And of course, I get thinking right away, looking at this 48X1. Well, geez, I got to get a B-29 and cut it up and make the mothership and all that,
Oh yeah, man.
Diorama with the X1 down in the pit, getting loaded. I'm like, all right, stop, cut it out. Don't entertain
Talk
those
about
ideas.
crazy with the cheese whiz, man. It would look cool though. It would look cool if you could do that.
Somebody did a conversion set in 48 scale for for that mothership. I don't remember who, again, probably going back to the early to mid 90s type of thing. It might have been like Muroc models. I know they did one in 72nd and 144th, I believe. So probably maybe there's someone out there with a 48 scale. Or if I had the plans to do it, that'd be good enough.
Build that shit.
To just cut the opening the way it's supposed to be and all that kind of thing. I don't know. I gotta stop. I'm not even gonna. We're not going there, man.
Man, maybe when we're all retired and we don't have shit to do.
Yeah,
maybe think about some crazy cool project like that. I mean, who knows? We're gonna be like we're gonna be old as dirt. What are you guys working on, man? Like, I don't know. I threw my thumb out trying to scrape some seams and. Frill will be complaining about whatever, we couldn't get a paint color or whatever, and I'll be like,
learn 3D CAD.
Yeah.
And, that way you are just CAD. Just learn CAD, and you'll be able to make anything you want with a 3D printer.
Here's that printer again. I'm sad. We're going to lose Tim to the printer gods. Tim's going to be so far away from his modeling desk.
How is that bad? How is that bad? Hey, Tim, print me out this.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, cool, man. No problem.
I didn't say there wasn't a silver lining.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, here's a nice crisp, whatever,
Right.
Hook me up.
So the thing to remember is that the kind of printer I got is an FDM printer, a filament printer. So the resolution is limited. It's not a resin kind of quality, but it is pretty good. And
cool.
My plan is to use it for prototyping. And then it just so happens I know a guy who can do some very high resolution resin printing. And when I need a one-off, that's what I'll do. And then I'll use it for things like organizing and some other stuff.
Good deal.
Cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. No. Anything else? Why did you pick up? That is all.
It? That is all,
awesome,
man.
Cool. Tim, how about you? What you got? You pick up anything?
Oh yeah, a 3D
stuff?
printer.
The 3D printer.
Man.
I mean that busted about half my annual modeling budget.
I'm
right
sure.
There. But it's a Prusa Mark IV filament printer, and
cool.
there's fairly extensive line of filaments that can be run through it. So I'm pretty jazzed by it.
I'm sure,
I bought some more filament as well, and that's on the way. I just got the shipping notification today because after I printed my scraper, I realized that, you know what, I'm probably going to go a little crazy with the Cheese Whiz here. And the last thing I want to do is run out of filament right in the middle of, I want to do this thing for the Thursday night or the Friday meeting. And I'm learning. I mean, it's a learning evolution because, it for this little scraper, which there's not much. I mean, it's like I don't know, 1/4 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
And, barely bigger than my hand. And it took, 40 minutes to print. And, yeah. So it's like, well, it's not fast but
it's not that super slow though. I mean,
no, it's not slow, but it's interesting because some of the things that I've seen pop up, when you watch a video online, and they show you here's how you do things. And here's the print. It comes, you see something pop up on the screen and it says, 8 hours to print. And it's like, and that's just one component of like a 6 or 7 component thing. And I'm like, well, how the hell am I supposed to make this work? And then I read, oh yeah, that's right. So I'm supposed to get a webcam that I put in front of it so that I can monitor it, put an alarm on it, do the, yada, yada. Next thing I'm down a rabbit hole. And it's like, wait a minute, what wasn't I going to model today? Oh yeah, that's right. So that's what, but at the same time I can, the nice thing is when I do kick off the print, I can then model while it's printing.
Yeah.
I just got to schedule my printing so that it's like at the beginning of the day. That way I can monitor it through the day as opposed to doing one where I kick it off overnight because I don't want to come wake up in the morning to a big blob on my printer and countertop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, have fun with that. And be anxious. I think we're all anxious to see how it progresses and how your proficiency gets, and then you can print stuff for us.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks guys for just giving us a quick go around the horn there on stuff you picked up. I picked up a few things myself. I got some Montex masks for Tamiya 32nd scale 0 that I'd like to do. That might be my next project as well. I don't think that one would take as long either. And then res kit, I got some, I had a 48 scale. I built the Academy F111F. I used the Verlinden detail set, Paragon flaps and slats, and I used the Academy kit. This was 25, 30 years ago I built this thing. And it was pretty neat. And for what I built back in the day. And after several moves, it just, and then I looked at it, I'm like, this is just not what it's time to scrap it. So I threw it away. And what I should have done was kept the wings. I should have kept the wings. And because now I want to build an F111, an F. And a couple years ago, I was going back and forth with Jim and Road Trammel, and he was helping me out. Hey, this is what you need to do. He's like, I really recommend the Academy kit over the Hobby Boss, and he had all his reasons why. So he sold me on, yep, I've got the Academy boxing, the F111. I think it's the C. It's the Australian version. It was their updated version, so it's got more parts and stuff in it. And he's like, that's the kit to get. So I got that one. But then you also have to buy the older, either the E or the F, because it's got the shorter wings. So, and then I debated, oh man, do I, I didn't want to have to go through the whole rigmarole of converting putting the flaps and slats on, because that is, I'm sorry, but it's work. And
that is some work.
I don't have it.
They look so cool like that, though.
It did. And I just, and my attention to detail now is much better than it was back then. And so I really felt like I could have, done a good job. But it's a lot of cutting. It's a lot of cutting and sanding and filling and blah, blah, and I just, nope. So, but ResKit came out with a bunch of new stuff for the Academy F111F. So now I'm tinkering the idea. Just, I don't know. What I'm getting at is when I built my SU-17, not the 27, but the 17 that I haven't finished yet, It's ready for paint. It's pre-shaded, and I am ready to start painting. And it's been sitting like that for almost a year and a half, probably. And the reason why it's sitting on the shelf is because, to me, an SU-17 or an SU-22 just doesn't look like an SU-17 or an SU-22 without the wings spread and the flaps dropped. Like, that's what makes it look so freaking cool. And so what did I do? I chickened out and I folded all the wings. And yeah, it kind of looks like, I guess it looks like an SU-17 or a SU-22, I guess. You know, it looks more like some other weird MiG, MiG 7 or something other. I don't even know. Just MiG, enter a number. It doesn't look like an SU-17 or 22. And to me, an F-111 doesn't look like an F-111 unless you spread the wings, drop the flaps and the slats, and you have those funky glove vein little, all that stuff. And I would definitely do a Desert Storm. I got a couple of really cool decal sheets. So I'm stuck. So I ordered all this freaking crap for an Academy F-111 that I'm probably never going to build because
you can still find the Paragon sets.
Yeah,
out there.
if you guys can help me find one, then I'll just bite the bullet and redo the flaps and the slats, because Jim's got me convinced that the shape of the F-111 from Academy just looks much, much, much better. So, I'm kind of, I would like to redo it, and so we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's a whole freaking long ass story for I bought a bunch of res kit crap for an Academy F-111. Now, the dumbest thing, and this will play into the main topic a little bit later, but this is when you have a problem, and this is when you're like, you might need to seek some help. Hi, my name's Scott, and I'm an aircraft modeler, collector, whatever. So I received 2 boxes from Andy Hobby Headquarters. I came in the house the other day, and there were 2 boxes sitting on the. Allison had picked them up, and she put them on the island. And I'm like, why do I have 2 boxes from Andy Hobby Headquarters? I didn't order anything from Andy Hobby Headquarters. And this is in addition to all the other that I just got in the mail. And I'm like, what did I order? And so I opened one of the boxes. I'm like, oh, crap. It's the Border 135th scale FW190. Sweet. I'm like, well, what the hell's the other box? Another Border 135th scale FW190. I ordered 2 of these kits, not 1, but 2. Totally forgot about them. And I'm like, why the hell did I do that? And it's like, because I have way too many models, and I buy way too much model crap, and I don't build enough, and I forget about what the hell I just ordered. So I'm like, yes, I have a problem. I get it.
We all have a problem. You're not alone. That's why we have these little groups.
I feel so much better now. This is total therapy. And of course, to make me feel even better, I did pick up another 32nd scale Tamiya F-16 Thunderbirds kit. So now I have 4. But hopefully,
I think there's only like 2 or 3 or more of those left out there.
Maybe hopefully I can grab those 2. Anyway, so I just think it's hilarious that I'm like, I ordered 2 brand new kits, and I ordered them within 2 weeks of each other, and totally like, it's not like I'm like, I want to get another one of those. It was, oh man, the new Border 135th scale FW190's out. I need to get that. Well, you dumbass, you already bought it 2 weeks ago. Pre-ordered it. Totally forgot. From the same guy. Anyway. It's a hobby, right?
He appreciates it.
I do.
He does.
I do.
Yeah. You made him very happy.
I hope so. Anyway, cool. All right, moving on. Again, guys, thanks for the update.
Hello, Model Geeks. This is Bert Kinsey of Detail and Scale to tell you about our newest publication, F-105 Thunder Chief in Detail and Scale, written by yours truly and illustrated by Rock Rozak and Jim Rotrammel. This is not simply an expanded and updated edition of our original Detail and Scale series book on the Thud. Instead, it is an all-new publication. It really took a lot of research and effort, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out, and I know you will be too. In fact, I think it's among the very best titles Detail and Scale has ever produced. Overall, there are almost 300 color photographs and illustration, more than 90% of which are in color. Following the introduction, the Thunder Chief History chapter reviews the development and operational use of the F-105 including its extensive role in the war in Southeast Asia. Next is a chapter that covers each of the Thunder Chief variants in more detail, beginning with the first YF-105As and going through the F-105F and F-105G Wild Weasels. Extended coverage is provided on the Wild Weasels to include an informative text that clears up some of the misconceptions about these important variants, and both general and detailed photographs illustrate all of the changes made to the aircraft as various systems were added and updated. Next comes a chapter on the armament carried by the Thunder Chief, and this includes more than 30 detailed photographs and illustrations. The focus of all Detail and Scale series books is that of the physical details of the aircraft, and the Thunder Chief Detail chapter contains more than 145 detailed photographs and illustrations, more than 90% of which are in color. There are 26 cockpit photos alone covering all production variants, and more than 90% of the photos in the Thunder Chief Details chapter were taken of operational aircraft. The modeler section covers all of the Thunder Chief kits from 1/144 scale through 1/32 scale, and it points out the pros and cons of each. The backdating that needs to be made to the kits in order to build early F-105s in the natural metal and silver lacquer schemes are also covered in detail. Like all of our Detail and Scale publications, F-105 Thunder Chief in Detail and Scale is available in both printed and digital editions, with both the Kindle and Apple formats being available for the digital editions. To learn more and to order yours, visit our website at www.detailandscale.com. Happy modeling from Detail and Scale. Now back to the ModelGeeks podcast.
All right, let's move on to some a little bit of news here. So I will turn this over to Mr. El Presidente himself for a PAXCON update. Tim, why don't you just give us a kind of a rundown on PAXCON and how we're doing?
We're doing well. Still scheduled for 7 October 2023, Hollywood Volunteer Fire Department in Hollywood, Maryland.
Sweet.
And we're already looking forward to it. We have the awards in hand.
Yeah,
they're
gosh,
gorgeous.
those are some great awards. Yep. Holy cow. Man.
I'm pretty
You're gonna
excited.
Want these awards, folks. You're going to want these. Bring your models. Bring your models. We're going to need help judging. We're going to need, we still need to sell a few more tables. We did sell one over the last couple of weeks. And I have also received one sponsorship for an award package. And I do understand we have promises for a couple of gold sponsors, but until the cash is in hand, folks, it's just a promise. And unfortunately, the Hollywood Volunteer Fire Department, they're not real good at accepting promises for payment.
Good point.
So anyway, that's where we are. And, there's a whole lot of other little details that are coming together. And we're at a stage where we're making some phone calls and making sure that we get to sponsorships. And but if anybody out there needs a table to sell their stash, or they're a vendor and they want to sell some product, come on down. Come to our website, either PAXCON2023.org or the Southern Maryland Scale Modelers website, and you can surf over there a couple of clicks and you can get to the same place. And there you can actually buy your sponsorship right there online. You can buy a table online, multiple tables if that's what you want. And also you can download your registration forms if you're just going to enter models. And, yeah. So, everything's there and we keep putting stuff up there. So come on over, take a look at our page. And if you like to show up, please do.
Awesome.
I think that's about all I got.
That's awesome, Tim. I have to admit the awards, I was blown away. The pictures don't do them justice. Like once you see it in person, you're like, holy crap. They're great. I mean, they are freaking cool. So that was sort of took a long time to get that particular design, but I think that's I couldn't be happier with the forms, and hopefully everybody else. It seems they're getting pretty positive reviews. Folks that have seen them, they think they're pretty neat. One thing I really love is whoever did the registration forms and decided to put them. You can put two on one piece of paper and sort of cut it in half. It's just, I'm telling the shows that I've been to where there's not a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, it takes up a lot of room. And so these that we have are cut, basically cut in half, are just, so they're probably 8 by 6 or something like that. And I think the labeling 5.5, something like that, and they're just great. I mean, they really are. The registration forms are awesome, which was really cool. So again, kudos to the guys in the club. I think D-Ran, you might have been, and Vince, you guys did a really good job with the registration forms. And then I am just gonna put a plea out there to please help judging. As many folks as we can get to do judging. Hopefully, we'll have a ton of models to judge. So if you're interested in volunteering, whether you've judged before or you haven't, it doesn't matter. Just please come see me, and we'll get you hooked up, and we'll get you assigned to a team, and you guys can go help judge. So I appreciate any help that folks can give us. And speaking of that, the judges' notes, since we're doing gold, silver, bronze, just a little bit different. We'll get the judges' notes. It's like a judging guide. We'll get that up on the website. I just need to make a few corrections, and we'll get that up on the website soon. So if there's any questions about anything, please just hit Tim up, hit me up. It doesn't matter. D-Ran, whoever, we're happy to help you out. So anyway, I'm super jazzed about PAXCON. It's great that, there's no turning back now. We got the awards in hand, we got everything done, we're committed. Yeah, we're committed. So,
we've been talking about doing that show for several years now, just bouncing it back and forth.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see it coming to fruition.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been going to model shows and competing for probably, 30 years maybe. And I've been involved with model clubs and all that good stuff for years, and going to shows and participating, and the amount of effort and work that it takes to put on a one-day show is unreal. And I can't imagine like a Nats or something like even JaxCon does 2 days. It's just a ton of work. And so personally, I just want to say thanks to everybody for putting in the extra time, because it's extra time. It's your free time that it's not our job. We all got jobs. Well, Tim used to have a job, but Tim's job now is
my job is running herd over a bunch of modelers.
Yeah, that's a good job. That's a good one. But anyway, I'm excited and can't wait to see everybody. So, folks, please, if you can hear my voice, come on down to PAXCON in October. It's going to be awesome. All right. Well, geez, let's keep rolling with some news here. And again, Tim, you are the 70-second scale king. So do you mind giving a quick 70-second scale update? Have you seen anything new in the 70-second scale world?
Yeah, just a couple of items. And it's from one maker, DB Model Kits. And I know that, a bunch of guys on hyperscale are now going to stick their fingers in their ears, and they're going to go, this guy is talking about a bunch of vaporware, this stuff will never show up. But anyway, DB Model Kits had announced, I guess about a year ago, a number of kits and in 30-second scale as well as 48. And they announced an F11F in both 48 and 70-second scale. So Vic DeSanto, if you're listening to the podcast, you just finished, I believe it was a Fondery Miniatures F11F.
Yes.
Well, guess what? DB Models is going to take care of you and finally give you the kit you've always wanted. They do apologize that, and this was on a Facebook post they made a couple of days ago. They do apologize that their designers live in Ukraine, so they're a little challenged to meet the timelines that they originally were planning, and they're running a total of about a year behind on their Sea Fury and de Havilland Hornet. which are in 32nd scale. And they're also working on a scimitar in both 48 and 72 as well.
Oh, wow.
So the 72 side of that is the F11F and the scimitar. Both kits that I'll definitely get when they do get released, even though I have way too many kits. Those are still subject I want on my shelf because they're naval subjects, and that's kind of the primary stuff that I work on.
Cool.
I definitely want the 48 scale F11F.
Geez, yeah. Can you imagine if Big T came out with one of those? I
would love it. Yeah, man. And Victor building that Foundry Miniatures one, he's doing a great job with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, this is your sacrifice to the model gods right here. You do this, and we get an injection mold, like an actual, like, or whatever, a resin 3D print. We get a quality one.
Yeah.
If you
I believe
do
it's
that
a combination
one,
of injection and resin, or 3D printed resin. Yeah.
I know.
Well, I hope it comes along.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I hope it happens.
It's funny. I was wishing the same thing when I spent all those years building that Mark 14 and 32nd scale. I would have loved to have somebody come out with a 32nd scale Mark 14. I know there's the PCM kit, but I was thinking like maybe Tamiya or somebody would come out with one, and I'd be like, yeah, I'll build another one. But I'll get into that later. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I think an F11. Holy jeez, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'll definitely pick one.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Cool. Well, anything else? The only sort of we're talking just kind of new stuff that I've heard. This isn't new. I'm just really excited about it. So I'm gonna speak to it real quick, and then you guys can kind of chime in and tell me what else you've seen that's going to be new. But there is this. The company's called Laminar Flow Design, and they're coming out with a 32nd scale Mark 14E conversion for the Tamiya Mark 9 kit. And I've seen Daniel Zamberbide, he's already got an advanced copy and started putting it to good use. And holy geez, man, the nose, the shape, everything, the fit looks amazing. So
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I cannot wait to get my hands on one of those. I keep, I need to be patient and just let it come out because I keep wanting to email the guys and be like, when is it going to be ready? When is it going to be ready? How come Zamberbide already got one? I want one, And so hopefully one of these days it'll be ready for purchase, and we'll be happy to give them some of my American dough to grab up one of those things. But that's the thing I'm probably most excited about, and what I keep seeing on the street. Hopefully it'll be coming soon. Is, like I said, it's that new 32nd scale Mark 14 conversion from Laminar Flow Design. So how about any of you guys seen anything else new out there in the world of modeling?
Yeah, I got a couple of things here. So one of our sponsors here, Furball, he just announced new decals are shipping for the YF23/F23 in 148 scale. He's got the prototype F23 markings, and then he went a little above and beyond, and he did a line of what ifs,
cool
production type stuff for various wing kings and such for the Air Force. And also the F-35 sheet is ready to ship in 172nd scale for the new Tamiya kit.
Okay.
And then also another thing I saw the other day was Galaxy models. I believe they're out of China. Resin 3D printed figures is something they do.
I saw those.
Yeah,
I saw those.
The new Navy figure, the flight deck figure. It's been years since, all the gears really changed since I ran around on a flight deck. The cranials are different. The goggles are definitely different. The float coats are different. And there's an actual, we used to go and buy, you'd go hit the Army Navy stores and get the CB greens to wear on the flight deck,
Yeah.
Some commands would issue them. My command never did. They were E2 Hawkeye, so they were like, screw you guys. We don't have enough money. Go get your own. If you want flight deck greens, go figure out where you got to get. So we used to hit up the, Norfolk, hit up the CB, the Army Navy stores around there and buy CB greens.
I used to drive up to Sacramento to the Air Force depot up there and go through their dermo. And,
right.
They had flight suits, they had flight jackets, they had the green air at the time. This almost 40 years ago, green Air Force fatigues that they would wear on the flight line.
Yeah.
And they all looked like they were brand new. And I could literally take tri-walls of that stuff as much as I could load on the truck.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't cost me anything other than the price of the truck.
Going up there
and then drive back to Lemoore and hit the squadron, and I'd dump it in the middle of the hangar bay, and I'd say, okay, guys, figure out what size you need.
Yeah.
And we'd do that just before workups and then just before deployment.
So nowadays they get issued a flight deck uniform. They have these new, they're all blue fatigue. They're a little more durable as far as especially in the knee and the ass areas, because let's face it, that's
extra
where
layers.
That's where you get beat up out there on the flight deck is, scraping up your damn knees, falling off your ass, or you sitting on your butt, I mean, God
Getting
knows.
your ass chewed by the chief.
Yeah, so you need a little extra padding there.
That non-skid's no joke, man. Ooh, man.
Oh, no, man.
That stuff's rough.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Galaxy models, 48 scale flight deck guys, and they're all in cool poses. They're not just in standing there salute or anything like that. They're very natural and casual poses and doing actual things. And then they also have a line of pilot figures for F-35s, pretty much. So what they look, again, I look at some of the flight gear that's going on out there nowadays, and especially in the tactical community, F-35 in particular, the survival vest is a lot different. I don't know if it has anything to do with the seat and the weight restrictions, things like that, or whatever. But they seem to wear a smaller flotation device, and the flight deck, the G suits now have kind of like the RAF have those clear pockets for putting your charts.
Yeah.
The F-35 guys are wearing stuff like that now, and so Galaxy Models has a set of figures, male and female, for modern jet fighters. Yeah.
Real quick, I want to, and not really real quick, I want to save the best for last.
Yeah.
Detail and Scale just dropped their B-24 Liberator book.
They sure did.
Their newest publication out there, and got our hands on a copy of. I got my copy downloaded. It's wow. So it's they got the PB.
I got my email from Rock.
Today. He was going back and forth. Yeah, they've included the PB4Y1 Liberator and the Privateer markings for both of those in there too. So
I'm going to be reading that tonight.
It's a good one. It's chock full of some really great pictures.
How much longer are we going to be on
A while.
I can't wait.
Hey, thank you very much. Have a good night. All right, see you, everybody. Bye.
Wait a minute. I think I can download it while we're talking.
Yeah, wait do you see this thing, man? They got some really great shots of the interior. It's just a lot more color pictures and really updated above what they released back in, what was it, 2000, I think, or 2010. Can't remember when that
cool, man,
that first one was released.
Yeah, you got that's like we always say, man, that is just essential modeling supplies.
Absolutely.
Got to have detail and sketch. Just got to have detail and scale.
Yeah.
If not,
Bert and Rock are knocking it out of the park over there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Good stuff.
Yep. Good stuff. Cool. All right. One more around the horn. Anything else? Anything else new? I haven't really heard a whole lot else other than I'm just excited about Nats. Hopefully it'll be some new stuff there. So, Whitey, you'll be there in spirit. Just make sure and give us your list.
I know. Yeah. I'll shoot you a list.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm happy. I will stand in line to get your FM2.
I was gonna say, if Eduard drops a crate of FM2s in there, then sure, grab me one.
Done.
See, you know what this means? This means I'm gonna have to have 2 beers instead of 1, and I gotta have 1 in each hand because if I'm drinking one, I have to be drinking one for Whitey too.
I'll spill you every now and then.
I gotta have like a half a beer, Jeez.
And I plan on standing in line for one of those FM2s as well to throw in the Christmas gift exchange.
So no, I don't know that they're going to be there. That's just my.
Well, if they
wish.
are, ones we'll snag one for you. But send your list too. I mean, because you never know. It's So yeah. All right. Cool.
Oh, I'm not going to burden you with having to haul shit back.
Easy day, man. Because it's just how it is. Wish you were going to be with us. Anyway, cool. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for the news. Thanks for the update on the kits. And, I'm excited to see what the rest of the year brings. Hopefully we'll get, some other cool stuff. There's always just new stuff just like kind of pops out of nowhere. Like, wow, what was that? Like those figures. Like that's just cool, man. That's just good stuff. Good stuff. Makes me want to build a Tomcat sitting on a launch bar, getting ready to shoot off or something, or a Hornet or something. So,
I know where they might have a kit of that.
Yeah, man, me too. Me too. All right, cool. Well, just to kind of wrap up the news, I'm just going to hit real quick for shows and contests. Again, I'm not going to go through all the different shows unless, I will just say, if you want to get a full list of all the shows, then just hop on the old IPMS USA website, and they'll have a full list of all the different events. I did have an email, not to jump ahead, but I had an email from a gentleman named Mike McNamara. And Mike, thanks for writing in. And he just wanted us to give a plug for BayCon 2023. It's IPMS Region 1's last show of. God, we're already getting to the end of show season.
I know.
Jeez.
There's Nats, and then there's what, 2? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And anyway, so BayCon 2023, that's Sunday, November 5th, 9 a.m. to 4 at the Franklin Elks Hall, and that's in Franklin, Massachusetts. And Franklin Elks Hall is on 1077 Pond Street. They're going to have 47 categories, 13 special awards, sponsored by the Bay Colony Modelers Club. So if you need more information, you can get in touch with us, and I can put you in touch with Mike, and we'll be happy to do that for you guys. And again, it's BayCon 2023, Sunday, November 5th at the Franklin Elks Hall in Franklin, Massachusetts. So anyway, again, Mike, thanks for writing in. Appreciate it.
On my bucket list is to go to a show in each of the regions. Hit one region, hit each region every year, and one show. Yeah. In addition to all the ones that we hit in Region 2. But that's on my bucket list, is to do that, and I'd love to do that for a few years while I'm young enough to do it.
I was going to say, I think that whenever we are all fully retired, I see me going to more shows. And I don't have to work.
I may not live that long.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna live forever. We're all.
You guys are all young. You're all chasing the jobs and the promotions and all that.
Not this kid.
I am counting down the days of paying off my mortgage, and then I'm retiring. I'm on the 7-year plan right now. I think about.
I'm on 5.
Give me 7. Grant's on 5. Whitey's probably close around there. Frill's the young. Frill's the young.
Frill's the young guy.
Yeah. But anyway, cool. And as far as shows, I do want to hit one other quick kind of regional show for us, and we've talked about it before. But that's PennCon. We'll see you September 16th up in good old Carlisle, PA. See that awesome group of dudes. So we're excited to go up there for that one.
You remember last year they had the UH-1 land out there on the lawn?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need to get a hold of Dana and see if he can't bring us in on the helicopter.
That would be
Geeks
awesome.
Hanging out.
That'd be fun. That would be fun. That'd be good. We could fly by with capes and shit.
Well, you step out of the helicopter and you walk in, and you got your airplane in your hand, flying it. Doing
that'd be Frill.
Noises.
We'll leave that to Frill.
That would be Frill. May or may not have caught him in the camera doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, when you're not here, it's fair game, right?
Fair game. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, absolutely correct.
Anyway, all right, cool. Watch out for that lava. Anyway, all right. So moving on. Focus. All right, Nationals 2023. All right, San Marcos, the 2nd through the 5th of August. Again, Whitey will be there in spirit. We'll be there. But hate that we're not all going to be there. But again, looking forward to seeing everybody. We'll have a table, so please come by and see us. We I'll also have a seminar scheduled. I confirmed with Bob Blair that we are good to go. That's Friday at 11 o'clock, and it'll be in the San Marcos River Room A and B. So hopefully they'll have tons of room. I was pretty surprised last year at Nationals in Omaha that it was standing room only there towards the end.
Well.
So we had a great turnout, which was amazing. So again, we'll be talking Navy TPS paint schemes and how to do them and all that good stuff. And then of course we'll just be happy to answer any whether they're modeling questions or Navy questions, or it doesn't matter what. Just please come by and see us, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody.
I hopefully it's a forum like this, so just back and forth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have a PowerPoint ready, but that's just, put something up there, have something to talk to, people can see. But, it'll just be fun, as always, just meeting folks and talking about models and stuff. So anyway, it'll be good. All right. Moving on to a hobby shop shout out. I do want to give a quick shout out to a hobby shop that I visited while I was on vacation with my in-laws and my wife and my sister and brother-in-law and their kids. They live in up close to Milwaukee, a place called Waukesha. So Waukesha, Wisconsin. And the hotel that we stayed at is only 2 miles from a place called Hiawatha Hobbies. And this is in a town called Pewaukee, Wisconsin. And I have to admit, most of the time I'm like, I go to a new city, I'm like, I'm going to pull out the old Google and see what I got. And I was like, hobby shops near me, 1.6 miles away, Hiawatha Hobbies. I'm like, you got to get me. 1.6 miles away? I can walk, So, of course,
you walk that.
I can walk it. And so I told my wife, I was like, hey, there's a hobby shop close by. Is there any way because we had plans with like all this other stuff. And she's like, no, it should be okay. So I was like, well, let me ask just to make sure. And of course, they were like, yeah, sure, no problem. Man, I could have spent an hour or two in there. They had a ton of stuff, good paints, good selection of kits. I got two 32nd scale Hasegawa limited edition FW190s for a pretty reasonable price. Hard to find, out of production, ultra rare, because they're limited editions. One of them comes with a figure. The other one had some special bomb parts. So I was like, wow. And they had a couple of the new Buccaneers. They had new Spitfires from Airfix, 48 scale and 124 scale. Tons of Tamiya stuff, tons of Hasegawa stuff, border model kits. They had a ton. That's just, and they had a ton of armor too. They had a ton of cars. They had this hobby shop was like a little bit of everything, from trains, planes, automobiles, figures, RC, toys for kids. I'm sure my nephews love it whenever I go to a hobby shop because I always buy them like the little little metal die cast little toys and stuff. So anyway, it was a great experience. The guys were super friendly, and it was great. So again, Hiawatha Hobbies in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Check them out.
Hey modelers, Furball Jeff here. Are you tired of boring, underperforming, or inaccurate decals that just plain suck? Not to worry, Furball Aero-Design has you covered. We have an extensive lineup of ultra high quality aircraft decals covering U.S. military aircraft subjects from World War II to the present day. Our extensively researched decal sets are printed to the hobby industry's highest quality standard by Cartograph of Italy. Only Cartograph can capture minute details with stunning fidelity. The colors on our sets are printed to match U.S. federal standard colors for maximum accuracy. Every Furball set has numerous options and include lavishly illustrated detailed placement guides. Our decals have minimal carrier film and will give the markings on your model that painted-on look. So if you're ready to take your build to the next level, check out our website at furballaero-design.com. That's furballaero-design.com. And now, back to the geeks.
All right, moving on. Tool and tip. So my tool and tip is I get a lot of questions about dry brushing and what tools do I use and there's there's just a right way and there's a not so right way, I guess, with dry brushing. What I mean is the tool is you don't need a brand new brush. I find that brand new brushes don't really work that well for dry brushing. You want an old brush that looks like my wife's makeup brush. It's all frayed and, just it's been used. That's the kind of brush that I like to use for dry brushing. Again, just kind of maybe like a centimeter wide, maybe small kind of flat brush that's just super soft. That's what I like to use. So that's the tool. And the tip is, we say it time and time and time again, but for really to make that dry brushing work, you want the brush to be uber dry, like to where if you're putting it on the paper or the towel that you're like, man, I don't think that there's a whole lot of paint coming off. Because when you put it on the plastic, you're going to be like, oh, okay. It's just barely kind of highlighting. And I usually do 1 or 2, 3 rounds of dry brushing. I don't dip it in the paint, kind of wipe it off, and then the next thing you're just gonna get glob everywhere.
So true. And that's the biggest thing I see, the biggest mistakes I see. The technique's in the name.
Yep.
Dry brushing. And it has got to be, literally the Sahara dry, because there's paint on there. Don't think there ain't.
Nope.
And I see these guys go in there. And the second thing is using a fine tipped brush. I see guys doing that, trying to do it sideways.
Yeah.
No. Two rules: dry, flat, and soft.
Yep. And what happens?
It's not a pencil lead, man.
Right.
No. Yeah. No.
And the older the brush, the better.
The older the brush, the better. Yeah. And I have. Some of the brushes that I use for dry brushing, they are beat up, and you're like, I would throw this away. I'm certainly not going to use it to paint anything. Then you got a good dry brushing brush.
Yep.
Yeah.
You ought to take some photos of them and post them on the page. Just so
probably
folks
should
get an idea what how gross you're talking about. Now, what Citadel? We hang out at the game store, so they sell the game Citadel paints and things like that, and they have a brush that is a quote dry brush. So I picked one of them up just because for shits and gigs. All right, let me try this thing out, and I actually I like it. It works pretty decently. It's a little longer than I would typically have. Like I've taken brushes before and cut them down for dry brushing, and that's what it's good. It works decently for one that's quote manufactured for dry brushing. It does the job.
Cool. Yeah, I think if they make one that's like specifically for dry brushing, I bet they're pretty soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not like a stiff, brand new kind of bristled brush. And I think as long as the paint is, as Darren has pointed out, is dry, you can probably get away with any brush, but man, the softer the better. I think the softer the
definitely
better. They work well. Awesome. Cool. And I'll make sure and post up some pictures of what the brush and the bristles look like, because you might think, whoa, that looks like that doesn't even look like a brush. Well,
that's a brush I threw away last week.
Yep.
Not anymore.
They work great. They really do. They work awesome. So anyway, there you go. There's your tool and your tip of the episode. All right. Moving into everybody's favorite. You guessed it. Good old mail call. And a little bit light on the old mailbag, but that's life. More time to talk about other stuff. So anyway, I'm going to hit just a couple mail pieces of mail that we got, and we'll just kind of keep rolling through here. We got a good one from Colin Kunkel, and he's up in Canada. So hey, how's it going, Hoser? Anyway. He was just talking about how again, thank you for listening and thanks for writing in. Colin seems to really enjoy our episodes. He particularly liked the episode 58 about just kind of keeping the hobby drama free. I think that's our goal here as the geeks, is we really try to be above board, not have any drama with our podcast or with our views or opinions, because that's all they are. Just 4 or 5 dudes who happen to build models, happen to be in the Navy, and who are we to say how you should do something one way or another or whatever. So we really do try to keep it lighthearted and keep the drama out of our good old podcast.
Yep, 100 different ways to get from point A to point B, isn't there?
You bet. And just because it's my way, that's just it. It's just my way. I mean, I don't think any of us do anything the exact same way.
No.
And we build for ourselves, and we don't I try not to let people influence my building unless it's positive, and that's kind of what his email was hitting on a little bit about. I had talked about the story when I was at my first nationals, and I got a second with my F-16, and I was just overjoyed, man. I was like, I had no idea that I would even. I looked at all the models there, and I'm like, there ain't no way I would place with anything, And then to get a second, I was so excited, and have people come up and say, "Oh man, that's your F-16. It's beautiful." But then you got the one dill hole. It's like he comes up and he looks and he goes, "Yeah, but that panel line right there, that's not supposed to be there." And then he walks off, and I'm like, "Well, way to crush my excitement of getting my second place." And several people heard the guy and were like, "Yeah, F him, forget that guy, your F-16's awesome, and don't let people like that," who, by the way, that guy will remain nameless, but I've never seen him put a model into a show ever.
Yeah.
Yet he'll sit there and talk smack about other people's stuff. One of those. So you know what? There's a special place in hell for people like that. But what Colin was talking about was just, he had a similar something happened very similar where this one particular individual, might be the same guy, who knows? Every show he had something. Yeah, this guy just always had something negative to say about somebody's model, and there's just that unsolicited crappy. Amen to that, brother. It's don't be that guy. Like, it's like, why do you have to sit there and crap all over somebody's model? Just bite your tongue, And he was talking about how his buddy just kind of like looked at the guy, and he just walked away. Took the high road, walked away. I think now I would just giggle and laugh or whatever. But I would just say one thing. That's kind of there's a good saying that I heard a while back, and I thought it was really interesting, and it's mediocrity attacks excellence. And you have those few people in the modeling world that they suck at building, and they know they suck, and they're insecure. And so to make themselves feel better, they go crap on everybody else's stuff. So, we
call them trolls.
Yes.
Modeling trolls.
Modeling trolls.
So let those guys go do their thing. And man, when people say that kind of stuff to me, I just laugh it off. I don't even pay any attention to them. But yeah, I think sometimes that happens. It's, you got to take the good with the bad. But the people like that, just ignore them, let them be. But anyway, Colin, thanks for the email. I appreciate that you're listening, and you enjoy the show. And seems like your email was spot on with how we all feel here at the Geeks, which is keep this thing drama free and welcome people to the hobby, and keep the criticizing to other folks.
So
anyway,
along that same. I was gonna cover some Facebook posts after you were done with mail, but this one's just too timely.
Yeah, do it, man.
With that, and so Ethan Eidenmill, he's written into us before, but he shot us one last week. It says, "Hi guys, thanks for the great discussion on what makes the hobby quote not fun. I found that all of your observations resonate with me. I have a related question. How do you feel about and react to unsolicited advice about your model?" So we kind of, definitely hit that. I readily admit that I do not react well to it. Amen, brother. For me, it is something that sucks the fun out of the hobby, but maybe it's just a personality flaw on my part. Definitely not.
Nope.
It feels a bit like someone is demanding that my work conform to their expectations instead of my own. I've also found that how I react, it depends on how it is presented. That's definitely right there. Tact, right?
You bet.
If someone does it nicely, then I'll probably say thanks, but I'm happy with it as is. If someone comes across as an a-hole, then I'd much more likely to tell them to F off in so many words. I could probably handle it with more grace. And then he asked, what do you guys, what do you do? Best regards, Ethan. So we kind of, exactly. I think we answered that right there with our reaction to your unsolicited comment, critique, advice, etc. And I shot him a response, but nobody likes unsolicited anything. I mean,
you bet. Yeah.
I don't care if you're selling the best thing in the world. I don't want to be bothered in the afternoon with a doorbell ring with some guy on my porch. I mean, thanks, buddy. I'm real busy right now. I've heard of that before. Guess what? There's this thing called the internet. If I'm interested, I'll find the information. And so yeah. Now unsolicited advice is unsolicited advice and critique is a faux pas, right? I mean, just avoid it. Just don't do it, folks.
Yep. And I'm all about. I always tell guys, I'm like, I'm not going to comment on somebody's model unless it's super positive. And if I see something that I don't like, I'm just not going to say anything.
Yeah.
I try to have my model filter on big time. But if somebody asks me, they're like, hey, can you take a look at my model? Let me know what you see. Then I'm happy to critique. Yep. Now, of course, if we're judging, then all bets are off. You're putting it in a contest.
Yeah, when your stuff's in a contest, it's going to get judged.
But if you're just some guy walking by the table and, you want to... And the worst are the guys that have the critiques for your stuff or everybody's stuff, and then they don't build anything.
I hate that.
I think we hit on it in our last show when we were shooting the bull here about when you talk about guys that don't want to go to contests or that have been to one and had a bad experience, when you hear sitting around and talking about someone's model, hey man, look at this thing over here, what a hunk of junk, or he totally goobered this up or whatever. Yep. If that dude hears you, man, hey man, you just shot his, you just took him out from the knees, man, so just talk about it, I don't know, back at the room, guys, or something like that. Just not in the hall, not in the...
Wait till there's nobody around. There's a lot of time when there's not, if you're like, hey, man, come check this out or check this out or see whatever. We don't start gawking or saying whether it's something... Usually, if we're going to see something that's negative or whatever, or they missed something, I don't just start... If there's people around me, I don't say... because I don't, it's who am I to judge somebody else's work? I mean, unless we are actually judging is that's different,
different thing.
Altogether. Yeah, but I agree. I mean, I think obviously the Facebook post and the email, and then the things that we've heard from other people, we really do try. You have to learn to bite your tongue, and then just don't give the advice, man. It's just nobody wants it.
There's another rule, too, on top of that for the advice that is asked for. So we'll go back real quick to your solicited advice that people ask you for critique. You remember the old adage, you never go to a meeting with the captain. You don't never take a problem to a meeting with the captain without a solution or a path forward.
Sure, yeah.
Right? So don't go by and saying, oh, that seam line's not supposed to be there. Just walk off. Especially if it's asked for, tell them what the problem is, or... Have you ever thought about doing something this way, vice that way, or,
give them a solution.
That's right. Give them a solution. So,
yeah, that's true.
At the same time, if something looks fantastic, you know what?
No kidding. I mean, even, there's been certain, let's say it's a beginner builder, and the beginner builder asked me to look at his work and give him some tips or pointers or critiques. Yeah, man, I'm not going to crush the guy's hopes and dreams.
You crap on them, they're done. They won't.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And be like, dude, what the hell? Nope, absolutely not. I'll be like, oh yeah, I can see you did it. I remember Chris Dirk's kid. He's like, Chris came up to me and he's like, hey, I can't remember what his son's name is. I want to say, what is it? Is it Gavin? I think it's Gavin. I could be wrong. Chris, if I'm
Chris is going to shoot you.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm giving up. I want to say it's anyway. He said, "Hey,
there'll be an FBI raid.
Can you come take a look at my son's? He wants you to critique it." And so, kids like 10, 12 years, whatever. I'm just like, "Oh, you did an awesome job here, and I can see how this looks great." And he's like, "Well, is there anything I could do better?" And I'm like, "Well, I just gave him like one little thing. I'm like, well, maybe like, I can't remember what I said. I think I said like, try to." Be careful with gluing your clear parts. Like I have trouble with gluing clear parts or something like that. I was like, but man, it looks awesome. And I meant all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you're just getting started, having one thing to focus on as a place to improve. If you give them a handful, more than two. Yeah. I mean, it's just vapor lock. It's like, I can never do this because I just do things, too many things wrong.
Even I'm like that, man. Mark Schachter comes up and he's like, "Hey, you should work on," and I'm just like, "Oh man, I suck." I'm just kidding. Just teasing. But I really try to consider like what the person wants. Like I've even had an accomplished builder come up to me and say, "Hey, can you take a look at my model?" And I do. And if they're an accomplished builder, then I still try to be tactful when I'm giving critiques rather than just a jerk, with like whatever I see, wrong with it. I really try to consider my audience, and I try to be polite. And because I can look at my stuff and be like, oh, my stuff sucks sometimes too, And so anyway, I think that's a good
story.
Good topic.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
You bet. Well, again, thanks for the email and thanks for the Facebook post. I think that's great. And talk about good timing, Whitey. I agree.
Yeah,
that was good time for that particular topic. So, I got another one I want to touch on real quick, and this is from Greg James. He's an Army tanker guy, and he's retired from the Army, and again loves listening to the show. And he had a couple of really good points, but I think the one that I like the most, and I can't remember if we've talked about this or not, but I have hundreds of decal sheets, and like when I take a Furball sheet and I build a particular model from it, I've got leftover decals, and so I've got a drawer that I've got a ton of excess decal sheets decals from that I really don't use that much. And a lot of times guys at the club are like, "Hey, I'm looking for whatever. Does anybody have this sheet?" Or on Facebook, people are like, "Hey, I'm trying to do this scheme from this sheet." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to use those markings." So what Greg was talking about is there an actual like a site or a forum that is like a decal depot, where we should create a decal depot where folks can put their stuff on there and people can use the search function and look for. That'd be cool. That's even a good name. The decal
that would be a
depot.
That'd be good.
I
know, like, go ahead, Tim.
Well, I was going to say the 72nd scale forum, which is, I think, 72ndscale.com or something like that. They actually have a sub forum that's all about decal exchange, and guys are trading off portions of decals on there all the time in 72nd scale.
Yeah, we should expand it and have all scales or whatever, because I think that's a great point, because I've got models that I haven't built because I can't. There's a 48 scale 2-bobs sheet, and it's the Texas Air National Guard F-16s, and I wanted to do one of those, a 2-seat F-16 for the show for Nationals, but I couldn't find the decals, so I didn't build the kit. And and I didn't even think about reaching out, but I should have. But some of those sheets are just really hard to find, and me, like, I've got duplicates of a lot of sheets.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a point there. Greg's got a good point there, and I'm going to look into see what we could do to get that started.
I typically hit up Hyperscale and ARC. Both of those forums have sections on there for selling, and they also have things for, like, spare parts box, which includes decals too. And I'll scroll through that, and see something that someone's looking for and mail stuff. Free of charge. I don't think I've never taken a dime from anybody, and typically when I ask if I'm on there search for something, I'll say, hey, I'll definitely cover the postage and whatever, a reasonable price if you want it, money for the item, and no one's ever charged me for a part or a decal sheet portion or anything like that. And nor have I ever, I mean, even the postage, man, forget about it. What's it? A couple of bucks to mail from here to there, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Most.
We have the ability to start the ModelGeeks decal depot on Facebook. We could just start a group for people wanting to trade decals back and forth.
Let's do it. The ModelGeeks.
Same with we could call it a mark for the ModelGeeks or something and put spare part pieces on there and everything else.
I think Decal Depot would be that would be if it's that simple to do. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And what a great idea!
The community helping each other.
Yep,
post it on there.
Awesome, cool. Maybe I can get a set of those 48 scale 2-bobs F-16 International Go Texas International cards.
Sounds like that's the first one to go.
First request, right? Awesome. Well, cool. Well, Greg, again, thanks for the email, and that's you had a great idea there, and check that out, man. That's awesome. And keep trying to build there. We get your retired Army tanker guy and us armor or non-armor guys. You just have to put up with us. But it's we'll put up with you being a non-naval aviator type. So it's all good in the hood, man. Anyway.
Chris Maddings dropped a quick message on the Facebook page about us talking tanks as well. And he was just like, guys, it's this simple. Guys, this tank chat is killing me. It's just like, dude.
His ears were bleeding.
It kills us to talk. We don't know what I'm talking about.
When I got to listen to an armor guy try to talk aircraft stuff. Are you kidding me? So,
well, I think Frill said he's working on a T-72, but he called it a T-34 or something like that, which is like total like.
Yeah, I said T-36, T-35, whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, they got them silly looking cupola things on the top where the dudes look out. That's what it is, right? A cupola?
A cupola.
Cupola.
It's like a cockpit.
It's like a cockpit.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, don't poke the bear, right? We'll have fun with this one. Anyway. All good.
That's what you can. That's why we're aircraft centric.
That's right. We
want to talk, guys. We know airplanes, but not other thingies.
No,
not targets.
And we freely admit we don't know a whole lot about that.
Yeah, we don't. I don't even know that much about. I probably know more about ships than I do armor.
Ooh,
anyway, definitely.
No, not me.
Anyway, well, cool. Well, it was a great email. And Greg, thanks again for reaching out. I appreciate it. The last one is from a gentleman named Mike Luck. And Mike had a little bit of a comment to Frill's comment about that the C5 was a garbage hauler, and so everybody we knew that was coming, right?
Hauler, right? We said something was coming with that.
Yeah. Well, this is the first of probably many, but Mike had a pretty cool picture of a C5, and it's dropping out the back of the C5 a Minuteman missile, and just sort of he said his dad was part of the test pilot on that project. He was a test pilot on that project, and he's got a really cool picture of this huge missile coming out of the back of the C5.
It's like a giant suppository.
Couldn't resist. Well, anyway,
more like dropping a deuce, right?
Enough said, right? Anyway, it's a cool picture though, and I guess a C5 is not just a garbage hauler, and we all can see that. And again, it's a pretty cool picture with the C5 and the Minuteman missile. So anyway, Mike, thanks for and you're welcome for the hours of entertainment. Anyway, there you go. Be careful what you ask for, buddy. Anyway, all right. Focus, Daniel-san, focus. All right, Mike, thanks. Appreciate it.
I got another Facebook post here that's going to...
Let her rip, Whitey.
This will generate some discussion from you specifically, Scott. So Ken Reed, he's posted some photos up on the page of an A4 he's going to be building up. And I commented on the picture, hey, man, it's looking good. And then he says, it's been a joy to build these old jets. He's talking about the monogram kits. He says, I do have a question for you guys. I've heard mention on the show about making the raised panel lines look as though they're not. And I was curious what the process is. I have several monogram kits that I just don't want to sand and rescribe. And then also he's asking about the paint trick to fool the eyes into thinking there's a intake inside the fuselage. And I guess that's probably a reference to the F-18.
Yeah.
So again, I know you built the monogram Revell A6 and then the F-105.
Yep.
So that's where he's kind of going with the raised panel lines, how to make it.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I think my response back to him was just basically, you're the guy that can make it happen, but it's careful painting. I mean, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mentioned that how Spencer Pollard too has been building those Century Series jets, and he was doing the thing where he was lightly sanding those panel lines to bring them out. After putting the initial base down, and then sanding lightly over them things to remove the paint essentially, right? And so that's going to bring the panel lines out, and that's another technique to make that happen.
I know, especially with some of the older monogram kits that are molded in the dark green plastic, then it's just a no-brainer. It's really easy to do. For me, I think I just really was careful with pre-shading. So I didn't, but I'm kind of an exact pre-shader anyway. In other words, I follow the panel lines, and it's so much, it's fun for me. I really enjoy trying to make, all these monogram kits that I've built. I've had a lot of people say, oh, wow, how did you scribe that? I'm like, take a look. Those are raised. And they're like, but it's just careful painting with the airbrush. And I don't go back and sand the panel lines to bring out, I don't do that. I just carefully paint. Now, whenever I'm polishing, if I'm going to put decals on, maybe it might emphasize them, but I don't recall whether it's the OA4M and the A4 that I just finished, a few months ago, or the A6 or in the 105. I didn't do that to any of them on purpose. Try to remove the paint, but Spencer does a great, and that's the way to do it. Man, if you're going to use sandpaper, I would use the super, super, super fine grit, to be able, but you got to be careful, because you don't want to sand too much. And but it's a fairly complicated process with all the different layers and the painting and the shading that I use. But the bottom line is, I think it just sums up. It's like Whitey said, it's just careful painting.
Yeah. I would say the pre-shading is probably key.
Yes.
Because they say with the OD molded kits like the 105, the F4, if you're gonna come over those things with if it's already dark plastic, it's already pre-shaded essentially, kind of. Well,
what I did for mine was I painted. I think I actually, I normally don't prime, but I did prime anything that's that dark green color. I went ahead and primed it gray. I just used Mr. Surfacer, and because I'm not worried about, just out of the can, I'm not worried about the panel lines, engraved panel lines getting kind of gummed up or where it doesn't hold a wash, because I don't put a wash on any of these things other than the real thick, kind of monogram, like the flaps,
the ailerons,
exactly,
flaps.
Yeah. And so it's just, I think it's probably more work than working on a kit or painting a kit that has recessed panel lines, but that's what I love to do, right? It's give me the airbrush, put some paint in it, and that's where I'm in my happy place. So I really enjoy playing with the different variations and the tones, and it's pre-shading is probably the biggest key, but then it's that post-shading as well with the lighter colors. The lighters and darker colors as well, just to kind of bring out the various shades. I mean, shit, I even had a MiG-29, that old monogram kit, and a guy thought it was the Great Wall Hobby kit.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, take a look. It's monogram.
Raised lines, just to touch on, raised lines are definitely not a deal breaker for me, man.
Nope,
I mean,
not at all.
Some guys see a kit and they're like, oh man, I'm not building that. It's got raised panel lines. Like, and I'm like, man, that's not,
Nope.
Even the real heavy ones, like out of the monogram ones, the monograms usually, all their kits are pretty decent. The F101 kit, the F101B, that probably has the most prominent raised panel
right around down the back of it. I've got it sitting right over there, and that's why I haven't touched it.
They're pretty heavy on that one, I will admit. But even if they're that bad, you just knock them down a little bit with a little bit of sanding, and then you're good to go, man.
Well, the other end of that, when it comes to that, I'm sorry, Tim?
You just replace it with a really thick sprue, stretch sprue.
Yeah. After you wipe it out up there, that's why I was, that's trying to sand that area up there is just nuts, and trying to recreate that.
That's where I use that. That's, I think for me, like recreating those raised panel lines. Knife. Yeah, I use an X-Acto blade.
Yeah, that's a great technique.
Really works, and it works well. And
that's one technique I've never done. I still need tutelage on that because,
dude, just swing on by, man.
Never done
swing on by, and I will. You're going to be like, "That's it? That's all you're doing?" I'm like, "That's it, man. It ain't."
Yeah, I saw that in like a fine scale modeler back in the '80s. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's where I saw that technique, and it was a game changer. I tried it, and I'm like, where's this been all my life?
Yeah.
And then of course Hasegawa starts releasing kits that have
recessed.
Yeah. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. It's all good. Well, D-Ram, I'm happy to show you. Like, you really will. You're gonna be like, dude, that is so simple. I mean, like, yep.
Well, that's why I'm going to charge you to fix the email. I'm coming over to fix the email. You're showing me how to do panel lines.
Easy day. Sounds good. For you folks that don't know, my email's been broke for about like 2 years. So I don't know what the hell the problem is. So I'm sorry that I don't respond. You can all beat me when you see me at Nationals. Just let me have it, So I'm sorry that I haven't responded to
on
emails.
That, since we got people lining up, I also want to put a plug out there. Since at Nationals, since Whitey's not going to be there, if you just come to the table and say, "Speak to Whitey," I'll FaceTime him. I don't care what time of night it is. We'll just FaceTime him, and you can talk to Whitey. So that's what it's going to be.
We'll do that.
I want to talk to Whitey time. Okay, hold on a second.
And we need to set up our table like how the Triple P homies do, which is be working on stuff and painting stuff. And as people are just walking by, I'm going to bring a kit that I'm going to be painting and working on and spraying and showing people stuff. Because I thought at that little handy dandy little, portable.
Tim's up there gritting his teeth and says, "Damn, it's more stuff I got to carry. Look at him."
Yeah. Well, there's that. And it's like, well, yeah, but that means you can't be out like visiting with people unless they come to your table.
Right.
Where's Dan at? We'll get Dan to go and get us a watch bill.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fair enough. Cool.
Yes, I'm talking to you, bill. Dan. Give me a watch bill.
Well, let's wrap up the old mail call. And again, thanks for everybody for dropping us a line. You can, if you always want to reach out to us, whether it's just to ask a question or you got some type of a show suggestion or a topic, or, you just want to say, "Hey, we're tuning in, love listening to you," or "You guys suck," whatever. Just toss us a message at contact@ModelGeeksPodcast.com. Or of course you can always post something on Facebook or make a comment now that we're going to be hopping into the old YouTube world more often. It'll be good. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Real quick on that. Everybody go to, when you go subscribe, get over to the YouTube channel and subscribe, please go. And then join the community, because in the community section over there, you can upload pictures and you can make comments and et cetera, et cetera.
Good
so
times.
It's another way to go back and forth.
Sweet.
Check it out.
I just get caught up on one layer of social media and you throw another one in.
I know, right?
Actually, I'm still trying to figure out Facebook. I mean, here it is, the 21st century, and I'm an IT guy, and I'm still confused.
It's all good.
You're telling on yourself.
Got to start somewhere.
I don't care.
Got to start somewhere.
I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
You have to get over there in the corner and counsel yourself.
I are an IT guy.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, fellas, again, good mail call session there. And again, thanks to everybody for writing in.
Hey modelers, have you ever struggled with how to display a contest-winning model or a project you completed after many years of work? How about protecting a model you built for a veteran or a family member? Well, Basis by Bill has a solution. Their museum-quality display cases are the perfect way to protect and enhance that special model. Built by modelers for modelers, Basis by Bill display cases are available for any type of model and for any size. Check out their website at basisbybill.com to see their new range of Astro cases, available in 18 different sizes, or to get your own custom-built display case quote. Use the code GEEKS at checkout to apply a 10% listener discount to your order. That code again is GEEKS for 10% off. Basis by Bill for all your display model case needs.
All right. Moving along here with the old man, it just kind of hits me a few minutes ago. We're at episode 60.
I know.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like we've been crack-a-lacking that long, you know?
Well, we're crack-a-lacking, all right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, this I got to give this topic. I think Whitey was the inspiration for this one. And it's the 5 kits of the apocalypse. Now, what that means is the Russians are coming, or the aliens are coming, or the zombies, or whoever, and you got time to grab 5 kits. So ultimately, that's what we're gonna answer that question of what 5 kits would you pick and why. But before we get there, we got a little admin to do. All right. So I told the guys, I said, hey, I sent out all these questions ahead of time, and I was like, you guys got homework? And they're like, homework? What the hell, homework? I'm like, but you'll see where I'm going. So okay, so the first one is just real basic. We're just sort of setting the foundation here. All right, so I'll go around the horn, and I'll just kind of ask. And the question is, what is your current stash count? Now, Nemo, I have 504. Darren, what's your total stash count?
Maybe a little bit more than that.
You didn't count. You didn't do the homework.
I did. I just feel like a glutton telling
Say it.
Say it.
It's over. It's over 500.
Okay. So over 500 for D-Ran. Whitey.
Man, I feel so good hearing those two numbers.
I bet you do.
Okay. I've said here before on the show that my goal is to keep my stash 200 and below, like, because that's a manageable number.
How you doing on that?
And right now, I am past that.
Oh boy,
I'm sitting at 230. I'm sitting at 235.
Okay, you're a modeler.
Because just like so many cool kits just keep popping out.
What do you do,
man?
Well, we're going to come back to that statement. So many cool kits. We'll come back.
Yes.
That's speaking of something.
All right.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. 235.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Okay, 235. All right. Darren's over 500. I'm at 504. Tim, what you got, brother? What? How many you got in your stash?
You guys are posting amateur numbers.
Wait. Size matters. Size matters.
Size matters. Ready? 932, and I know I'm missing some because I can't. There are as I'm going through. It's like, what? Wait a minute. Where is that? Where is that kit? I know it got it, and I can't find it. So I know the number's bigger than that, and some of the boxes have more than one kit in them, and I may not have remembered to open all the boxes to count how many were inside the box.
So let me touch on that now, okay, for the listeners. You have to understand that when he says he's counting through boxes, his stuff is so small, he's looking in shoe boxes. So he might have like 24 shoe boxes going through looking at kits.
We should get a T-shirt.
Size matters.
It says that we should get a T-shirt that says, if size didn't matter, we'd all bill 70 seconds kit.
I love it. I hope Dave Fuller's listening to this.
Yeah.
Well, there's also 1/44 scale.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you know Vince is listening.
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yes.
If size does matter, we'd all be building 144th.
Yeah.
You say it's
Oh,
so
my goodness.
it's so tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can barely see that damn 72nd scale kit, that K84. How the hell am I going to
Who
see?
you going to satisfy with the kit that small? Just me, babe. Just me.
Me and I'm going to be alone in my basement with all my 144 scale kits. Leave me alone, honey. Anyway,
That's
all
right.
So here we go.
Apocalypse. I can either have one big box of a bunch of small kits, or I can carry out 5 really small boxes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. So again,
932.
So keeping with we're okay,
And that's a combination of ships and aircraft.
Got it. Well, that's okay. That's permissible. It's mine. I have one ship, and I got like 6 72nd scale kits, and the rest are all 48 and 32nd. Okay. All right. Moving on with some more admin housekeeping questions here. All right. Now, all right. So which kit or kits manufacturer? Well, just no. I take that back. What particular? I'll tell you mine, and then we'll see where we're going with this. So the question was, what kits do you have the most of? And so what I meant by that was, like, I have 13 132nd scale BF 109s from Hasegawa. I got 13, and I got all the different limited edition, and so that's the most. I guess the kit that I have the most of. So what about you guys? D-Ran, what kit do you have the most of?
So I think the kit that I've got the most of are scooters of the Hasegawa Persuasion.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably, if I had, as a matter of fact, I know it is.
That's your biggest number?
That's my biggest number of kits is the scooters. Yep.
Okay.
Love them.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah. Those are pretty awesome. All right.
I mean, I just love the jet.
D-Ran scooters. Yeah. Well, yeah. Of course. We all. Yep. All right. And then, Whitey, how about you? What's the most prevalent, not the most prevalent, but what particular kit do you have the most of?
I have, this probably not surprising, I have 5 P3s.
Okay, there you go.
But, when you say, however, 2 of them are EP3Es and 1 of them is an NP3D. So they're not, they're all P3s, but
those are subvariants. That still counts.
Like my 13 Hasegawa 32nd scale 109s, I have K4s, I have G6s, I have F2s, I have F4s, but they're all kind of basically the same kit,
Yeah.
Like so I got A4Ms and I got the TA4Js, et cetera. So
okay,
but all
then
A4s.
So Whitey, yours is your you've got it makes sense, right? Most of the P3s makes sense. Makes sense. Cool. Tim, how about you? Let me guess. Spitfire.
Gee. Yeah, you get 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count.
Yeah.
So Spitfire, Seafire variants.
Like how many do you think you have? Hundreds?
I know I have because I put my hands on every single one of them this weekend. I did my homework.
There you go.
Now these are unbuilt. I'm not counting the 76 that I've built already. 91 unbuilt. And 3 of those are not 1/72nd scale.
Oh, that's
one's
awesome.
a big bastard.
One's a big boy.
Yeah, one's a 1/24th, and then 2 of them actually are 1/24th. I've got a Spitfire Mark V and a Mark 9 Airfix, the recent Airfix Mark 9.
Good deal.
And then I do have a Tamiya 1/48 scale Spitfire Mark 1.
Cool.
You need
awesome.
the Tamiya 32nd scale as well. Yeah.
I really don't.
Well, that is a respectable number for a single type of kit. Now, okay, cool. So my next question was, what's the most like prevalent airframe type of that you have a kit of? So, for example, like I have 32 A4s, and that's both a 48 and 32nd scale. I have 24 F16s, all scales, and I have 13 F4s. That's the biggest sort of airplane type model kind of series kits. D-Ran, how about you? Do you have any idea what's your airframe?
I don't. Did I miss that question on my test? Because I don't.
Yeah, I conflated that with the previous question.
That's okay. I didn't. That so
one
I failed.
No. That could have just been no. Hey, I'm the one.
You haven't failed yet. Yeah, it's just 10 points off.
That was a biased question, so I'll throw that one out.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Yeah, we'll throw that one out. But the bottom line was I have 32 A4 kits and 48 scale and 32nd.
That's ridiculous.
I know. It's just.
I have 4.
You got 4?
4 F4s.
Wow.
4 F4s.
There you go.
And let's see, what was the other one? Well, then it goes back to P3s, 5 P3s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I got 15 A4s.
That's still that's a substantial.
No, 19.
Number.
19.
Yeah, there you go.
I got 35 P51s.
Y'all make me feel so good, man.
I got 19 Hurricanes, but that's because about 10 years ago I built like 20.
I thought I was out of control, but I'm not.
Whitey, you're just like, holy goodness, what is wrong with you fellas?
Y'all need to. I need to get my wife to listen to this episode for sure.
Well, here's what you get her to listen to is so your stash is pretty reasonable, right? Because when I added up, I just used that just picked a number. I picked $35 for each kit. Man, I'm coming up with like $17,000 worth of just kits. I mean, and I know I can say that because my wife does not listen to this podcast. So, although she would laugh, she would think that was funny. She's like, "No, you don't." Yeah. I'm like, "Yes, I do."
So now let's add in the value of all those books you have sitting behind you, all your paint, all your tools.
Oh, it's
God. I'm not going to. My goodness gracious!
Didn't we do an episode once about insurance policies?
Yes, we did.
We did talk about it.
And I've got over 100 of those aircraft, aviation art prints.
Oh
yeah. Dude, you
I should.
Well, we did.
Those should be in the fire safe, bro.
Yeah. Well, how do I put them in there? I don't know.
You buy a big safe.
Man, that's going to be a giant.
I thought the point was to have them on the wall.
No, not these.
There's no way I could put a. Yeah, I've got like 15 Eric Hartman signatures on
originals. Or not originals.
Well, no, they're not. I mean, God, those are crazy.
Yeah, but they were the limited run print, all hand signed, right?
They're all hand signed by Hartman. Yeah, but I've got my most prized one is the one I have signed by George Bush Sr.
Yeah,
that's the one that's the most prized possession that I have. Anyway, all right, cool. Well, we're gonna keep moving on so we can get to the actual main topic here. Again, we were just and for me.
Oh my God, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet. We're just getting rolling, man. Just getting started. So what manufacturer do you have the most kits of? Me, I added them. I have 149 Hasegawa kits. So Hasegawa was the number one winner of the most, which manufacturer I had the most of. So Darren, what manufacturer, who wins for you for manufacturers?
I did not count them, but I can tell you right now by looking at the wall over here, the two walls actually, the red, white, and blue Tamiya logos are everywhere. That's the largest manufacturer of mine is Tamiya stuff.
Gotcha. Whitey, how about you?
Hasegawa also. I mean, because all the modern jets that they did, have done through the years, and
good stuff.
Because looking at my stash, it's all like all the Hasegawa jets, man. F4s, A7, F8s,
Hornets, all that.
Hornets, Phantoms, A4, and very few World War II. Most of my World War II stuff is Tamiya or Airfix.
Okay,
I've been scoffing up a lot of the World War II Airfix stuff lately.
Cool.
Sorry, I just like them.
No, yeah. Tim, how about? I mean, I think for you, what's your most prevalent manufacturer kits you have the most of?
Yeah, well, because I do build mostly World War II propeller stuff, it's Airfix.
Gotcha.
And at 132, and then not too far back at 100 is Hasegawa because of all the Japanese kits I've got.
Ah, okay, cool. All right. Well, moving on. Let's now it's had to take care of a little housekeeping, just a little admin, just to set the stage for the old topic here. So, I mean, here's the big mother question of the episode, which is, all right, the end is near, and you can only grab 5 from the stash. So, D-Ran, what are you grabbing?
Can't do it.
That's not
I can't
part of.
I can't do it.
They're like his children. They all have to die. He just dies with them.
No, I do have some kits I would take with me, but I can't limit it to 5.
What? No, you're only limited to 5.
That's the game.
The zombies are going to eat you. You can't do it.
Then they'll all go, because without
they don't all go.
Without all 10, the set doesn't exist. So
nope, it's 5. You can only pick 5. Okay, no. You know what? For you only get 1. What's the one kit that you would if the zombies were coming to eat you and you could only grab 1 kit, what kit are you grabbing?
The entire 1/48th scale propeller action series from Tamiya, which I have spent years collecting. All 10 of them. I'll put them in one big box and they'll go on my back. I just can't. That's my prized possession is that series, right? Because they're all wrapped.
Yeah.
The bags have been broken on them, and it took me a long time to get all 10 of them.
Did they only make that? Is that like the complete collection?
Yeah.
So that's your prized collection?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's from the Grand Slam bomb, and they're all electric. All the props spin on them. They're all prop action.
Wow.
So, even the bubble top, the P47D, has ball bearing wheels. It'll roll around under its own prop in circles.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I just couldn't break up that. So if I can't take those 10, I can't take anything at all.
Okay. All right. I see where you're getting at, but all right. So Darren, so D-Ran's got his 10 electric prop Tamiya kits. All right. Whitey. I
got a bunch of spares, and I'm going to build one. I'm going to show it to you. It's so cool.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the zombies are chowing down on your head because you went over 5 because you were too slow packing them up.
No, so I'm splitting it up, and I'm going to give 10 of my buddies each an extra kit to carry. I'm going to.
I got my own. Take it out anyway. Anyway, Whitey, what you got, man? Well, if you could only take 5, the 5 kits of the apocalypse, what kits are you taking?
All right, man. I'm going to grab a Tamiya F14A, Tamiya F4B, the Kinetic E2 Hawkeye.
Oh.
My Airfix Nimrod.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And
left field.
The H8K2 Emily by Hasegawa, the one that Chris Lovewell sent me.
Wow, you wouldn't.
A nice looking kit.
You wouldn't take a P3, would you?
I've already built them. And, that was kind of my thought. I was like, I've built a bunch of P3s. None of these other ones have I built yet. So I'm like,
that's kind of smart. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, Tim, how about you? What 5 kits are you snagging?
Saturn V.
Oh,
the Dragon 72nd scale Saturn V.
All your resin pieces don't count. That's a separate kit.
You can only bring the plastic.
Listeners can see the look.
That's okay.
Right
That's okay.
Cool. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, cool. Saturn V, got you.
Yeah. I can't remember. It's Revell or Monogram 196 scale USS Constitution.
Okay.
Sailing ship.
Yeah.
He's got to take that one because he's got a new case coming for it.
Well, but you see, that's for the one that I already built. This is for one I haven't built yet.
These are all
point taken.
Right. Yep. And then let's see and then 3, 4, and 5 is the Airfix 1/24th scale Spitfire, Hellcat, Typhoon, and they're all kind of equally at 3, 4, and 5.
That's interesting that you pick the 24 scale stuff, even though you're predominantly 72nd scale builder. But
dollars.
Yeah, it's just
No, I'm thinking something big.
Yeah.
To occupy my time. while I'm sequestered up on Mount Everest, hoping that the zombies never come up there.
Yeah. Well,
and a close sixth was the 196 scale Cutty Sark.
Okay.
Sailing ship. That was. I almost put that on my list because I've never built that one. And I'd like to build it.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are, again, I love it when you got a couple of them out of left field where you're like, oh, wow, I wouldn't think of that, but that's cool. And then here, I'll run down mine real quick. So, and this is in order. So if for some reason the zombies were nipping at my heels, they would go in this order. So number one would be a Tamiya 32nd scale F-16 Thunderbird.
Now, hold on.
Yeah.
If you only can take one of them,
that
means you got way more than you need.
I'm just.
You picked that you would take one.
See where you're going.
So your list should be 1 Tamiya 132nd scale F-16 Thunderbirds, 2 Tamiya 132nd scale F-16 Thunderbirds, 3 Tamiya 132nd scale F. I mean, that's what we should be hearing, right?
No. I'm just going to take one. I'm just going to take one.
You have to
now. If you have a chance to swing by my house after the zombies already came through and they're still there, well,
you get one for free.
I guess you get one for free.
Oh man!
The second one is the Hasegawa 32nd scale 109, the F2, the one that's like $500 on eBay. Took me forever to find that kit, and I've got two of those too. By the way, I found one. I found one on eBay for like I think
you can only take one.
It's like $160, which is stupid. How much, but then I found one at King's for $59.
Well, yeah, you stole that.
Still in the bags and everything. I did.
But you can only take one. In worst case, you can't take any.
Yep.
So,
and so
remember that.
I'm just saying. So I got two. So I'm going to take one. So hey, swing by the old zombie infested Samo household and see if you can snag a. Like that from that movie, like 28 Days, those zombie dudes and the blood and their stuff. That was a great movie. You guys seen that movie?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh my goodness. That's a great movie. It's awesome.
I'm not into zombie movies.
Now this is different. This is a good one. It's really good. Anyway, the next one, third on the list, is the Academy 48 scale MH53. Of course, I got a.
Why? You'll never build it.
I know. But at least I'll have one. Okay, so the next number 4. Now those I will say those 3 were quick. I snagged those like right away, and then the next few they were hard to figure out. I had a hard time figuring out, but I went with number 4 with the Hasegawa 32nd scale OA4M. It's that high grade version. I just love that freaking kit. I built it twice when I was a kid, and then the Zokimura, their 32nd scale TA-152. So those are my 5. And then I have a few ones that were close, but didn't didn't quite make the cut. And they're all Hasegawa. And one's the 32nd scale F5V, but the shark nose one. It's the USN, the Adversary Boxing. And then the next one was the 48 scale T2. It's that Japanese Adversary, sensing a theme here. Japanese Adversary scheme. And then the 32nd scale FW190, the D9. That was a tough one to not snag, but I couldn't. That's why I grabbed the TA-152. And then the last one was the 32nd scale A4E, the Top Gun Boxing, because it comes with the ACMI pod. But none of those didn't make the cut. So anyway, but my Thunderbirds and my F2 and my 53E, those are, if I could only take 3, those are the 3 that I would take too. Anyway, so there's my list. Okay, so this is just a quick little bonus question. So the zombies were way faster than you thought. So you can only grab one kit. So for me, it was the 32nd scale Tamiya F-16. The Thunderbirds. That would be if I could only take one kit. D-Ran, you already said what your one kit was, which was your 10, whatever.
So all or nothing.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Are you gonna? You got another?
We've lessened the number. We've lessened the number from 5 to 1, and I can't. And I think if there was one kit I would grab, and you guys are going to throw
it a car?
Beer cans at me, it's not.
It's what?
It's my
the Danica Patrick.
But I do have 3 of them staring me in the face.
I know, yeah, man.
It's either an egg plane. I know what frills would be. It'd be one of those Japanese anime figures. Sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
It's my 1/350th scale USS Enterprise by Tamiya.
That
one I would take, but there's history. That was my first ship.
Yeah.
That's
a good
deployment. I've wanted that kit. So little sea story going all the way back to the 80s. Pull into the Philippines. Just some young kid. And where's the first place I go to? They had a little hobby shop over there, Subic.
Hell yeah.
Whapa! Straight over I went, man.
Sure you did.
Tim's looking at me like he knows what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about, but I find it hard to believe that a brand new sailor, young sailor, that his first shop
it was
a hobby shop.
Hold on a second. PG, man. That's for the ModelGeeks after hours. That's for live stream night sometime over here.
All right.
So, anyway.
Get them loosened up.
Yeah. I did come across that in the Philippines while I was there on my first deployment on that ship. And wanted it, and being a poor airman, married, couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
What
is that?
How much was it in the PI?
Yeah,
you got to remember this was back in '88, man. And it was still like $80-$90 or something like that. It was
extremely expensive.
What did they go for now? Like if you can find one now, what do they go for?
Around $150, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, they're really not too bad now.
Yeah, $150
they still make
or so.
Or is it out of production? Or
I think that's out of production. No,
I think they still make them because they're not hard to find.
Huh?
Yeah, you get on eBay, you'll see them. And,
group build.
Yeah.
I bought one when I was. Let's see, it must have been. I had just gotten out of the Navy, so that must have been around '98 when I got out the first time, anyway. And
is that the one you got in your shop there?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I bought it right before I left Oklahoma. I bought it from Squadron. They were having a sale, and I think I got it for like $120 on sale.
Oh wow!
So online it says MSRP is $254.
Yeah, $254. That's on Tamiya's website. Yep.
Yeah, and Amazon has it for $187. Tower Hobbies has it for $203.
Yeah,
which is what $203 is a common number that a lot of folks are selling it.
Cool.
And I think I got this one for $100. I think, and it was a deal I couldn't pass up. So
that's a pretty neat kit, though.
It is a good.
It is, and it's something I'd like to do. I really want to do the LED lights inside, and they have all this aftermarket stuff for the hangar bays and jazz, and I want to do it. I want to do it with respect, right, and do it right.
There's a whole Facebook page just for that.
There is. I'm a member. Yep.
Oh yeah. So you've seen all that cool stuff that's out there. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Well, cool. That's a good choice. That's a fine choice.
Yeah, that Whitey, one I would have to.
Whitey, how about you, man? What's the one kit that you?
Okay, so does it have to be from the 5 that I've already squirreled aside, or?
I mean, I
think I broke that rule.
Yeah,
but it could.
So I kept it to the 5 that we have, and I'm going to take the Emily because again, I'm looking at like what kit's going to take me the longest to build. So that's going to be the one that I'm going to take. It's going to take me the longest to build. So
cool.
Yeah,
good deal, Tim. How about you? What's your out of your 900 something? What's the one you would snag?
The Saturn V, because Suzanne gave me that kit.
Still can't take the resin.
And without the resin, and the reason, and the other reason is because in order to make all the corrections, I'm going to need a whole lot of plastic or balsa or whatever toothpicks I can find. As I'm running from the zombies,
you could carve them from bones. There'll be skeletons everywhere.
There'll be plenty of bone all over the place. Yeah, so that won't be a problem. Yeah, so I figure that it'll give me enough to, I could spend the rest of my life just correcting that kit.
Cool. Well, good deal. Well, again, this whole topic is just meant to be fun.
Yeah.
And informative. And but I do have there's one other question that this is kind of like a bonus question. So you survived the apocalypse. You've got your 5 kits, and but just so happens that now that all the zombies are dead, but it's just you and Tamiya. That's it. The whole Tamiya company, they survived because they just, I don't know, they had the skills, and so they were able to kill all the zombies and take care of the business. So and Mr. T says, hey, congratulations for not getting eaten by the zombies. So I will make any kit that you want me to make in any scale. So Darren, what kit are you asking Big T to make you?
This is such an easy question for me.
Goodness. Okay.
A 148 scale Legacy Hornet.
Ooh.
B, C, D. I am here to, I challenge, matter of fact, that's another Facebook group, petition Tamiya to build an F-18, a Legacy F-18 Hornet.
Yeah. Yep.
There's only 2 decent ones out there, and they're long. One's long in the tooth, and the other one I just will not try again. I'm selling them all.
I think if I had to build another Hornet, because I love the Hornet, man.
Oh man,
especially the Legacy. There's just something about, maybe it was just, the Super wasn't out whenever I was going through flight school and just going to air shows, and I just love the Legacy Hornet. I like the slimmer shape of the Lex area, and it's just cool looking. Yeah. And
so that first deployment that I told you about on Enterprise, we were flying them out there when they were doing tests.
Oh wow!
We used to have A7s on deck.
Yep.
VA 22, VA what's it, 94?
94. Yeah.
Oh wow.
With CAG 11, wow. And we were still, and they were bringing them out. I thought it was the neatest thing. They opened up those side avionics panels. I saw those circuit breakers, and I about shit myself. I was like, oh my God, it's a flight computer.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It's just amazing. You know, fly by wire cool. and all this jazz. Man. And man, it was the first. It was a groundbreaker, and I just love that jet. And nobody out there is making one. It would be a moneymaker.
Yeah, it'd
fly off the shelf.
Fly off the shelf. Yeah,
I'm going. So
I'm with you. Yeah, cool. Good choice.
Yeah,
Whitey, how about you, man? What's your one kit to get him to make for you?
Well, instinctively, I want to say a 148P3.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, well, it's Tamiya. They're not going to do that.
You got to remember, he said he would do anything.
He'll do anything.
But okay, I'm
going to dream big.
What else?
Dream big.
It seemed like you thought about something else, though. So I think it's obvious.
I would like to see them do. I would like to see them give the 132 scale treatment to the Hellcat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which is not far-fetched. I see that coming in a couple of years. They could put that in
their Warbird series, right? Is that a Warbird series?
Yeah.
I see that coming. I don't know. Not that I know anything, but
yeah, that's pretty good though. That's good. That's good. I'd buy one.
Yeah, it's just
I'd buy a couple.
It's my favorite World War II plane.
Me too.
That's cool. Awesome.
The Corsair's done to death, which is another cool jet or cool airplane.
Yeah, I mean,
don't get me wrong, but
I love the Corsair, but I just the Hellcat won the Pacific. They just dominated the sky, man. I mean,
wow, excellent choice. Excellent. Tim, how about you?
So I was torn on this one, and the reason why I was torn is because, I'm good. I drugged that, damn 172nd Dragon Saturn V all around the world, running from the zombies.
Yeah,
and I get back, and so my first thought was, well, I'd like Mr. Tamiya to make me a really accurate 72nd scale Saturn V.
Okay.
And then I thought, but and I said this once a few years ago, is that, man, if somebody made a really nice 1/350th scale Nimitz class, I would buy it and modify it to be the John C. Stennis, since that was my last deployment.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of torn between those two, but if I've got to choose one or the other, I think
choose one.
It'd be the 1/350th Nimitz.
Cool.
And then I would make the mods to make it look like a John C. Stennis.
Cool, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
I was kind of torn myself for the two, and I'll tell my two, and then I'll try to pick one, because that's the whole idea. You can only pick one.
He's gonna have to flip a coin.
No,
let's see where we're going.
So the first one would be a 32nd scale Spitfire, a Mark 14. So I'd take a Mark 14, but I'd take a later Mark Spitfire too, like a 21 or a 22 or something like that. But something that has that. I just love the look of the 5-bladed prop on the Griffin engine Spit. I just think they look amazing, and I'm surprised that Tamiya hasn't done a 32nd scale Mark 14 or even a high back or a bubble top Spitfire.
Well,
so that
the lines on the whole front end are different. It's just it's like a Corvette.
It's probably
just got some humps and bumps and some lines that are just sexy.
Yeah. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And my next one would, or what I'm trying to was to be a 32nd scale F5F. So not the single seat, but the 2-seater. And not the T38, but an F5F. I just like that slender, long nose and those adversary schemes. I don't know.
So another Coke bottle figure.
Yeah, man. But I think if you put a gun to my head and you said, nope, you only get one, or the zombies are something bad's gonna happen, I'd pick the Mark 14. So that would be my ask. That of Big T would be, please make me one of those, and he would go do it.
That'd be a good one. That would be a really, really good one.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Can I go back for an ask for just any manufacturer out there?
You can.
A plea, because I'm going to blame Tim for this. He reminded me of it with all his Saturn V talk and his rockets. Did y'all see the Crew Dragon capsule that Gabe had? That 3D printed Crew Dragon capsule?
I don't think I did.
No.
The Gabe had?
Where was this on?
Was this on ModelGeeks text thing that was going back and forth? David posted.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, I would love for somebody out there, 3D printing, some company. I am in desperate need of a Falcon 9 3D printed rocket.
Wow.
Oh,
what scale?
I don't even know what scale. I don't even know what the scales of rockets are. What 1/350?
They exist. I mean, the 3
would be crazy big, though.
No, it wouldn't.
Well,
it'd be kind of small, wouldn't it?
It would be kind of small.
You think?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got a Saturn V that's 1/200 scale, and it's only like that tall. It's really not that big.
Like 72nd scale would be cool.
Huh?
72nd scale would be
wow, that would be
pretty big.
That would be big.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty.
I don't know.
You can get if you look them up on some of the. I mean, I can send you a couple of links. There's companies that are. I say companies. There are people who have designed
people on
them.
Etsy and stuff that are 3D printing stuff. I just want something with some really good quality to it. But anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I probably shouldn't go down.
Okay. No.
The rocket, the Saturn V thought, and I've actually here over the last month and a half or so, I've been doing a lot of searching for them, and other than what I can find that's on the garage kit market, there's nothing there. So
I have an interesting,
not really, yeah.
I have an interesting Saturn V story. I might have told this before, but my dad was at one of the last. I can think it was who was the last missions that were flying Apollo 5, or I'm sorry, Saturn V. Was it Apollo? It was flying.
Yes.
So I can't remember what year or whatever, but my dad was at the last Saturn V, I guess one of the Apollo launches, and it launched. And he was there in person and took pictures, and he said it was the most incredible thing he's ever witnessed in his life, other than me being born. That's what he told me.
Apollo 17 was the last.
Yeah, it was the last Saturn V launch.
Yeah.
So he said that it was just unbelievable, and he took pictures of the whole 9 yards and everything, and he took the pictures to the little photo place and had them develop them, and they get hey, your pictures are ready, and he goes pick them up, and he opens up the package, and they're black.
Oh my Lord!
And the next one's black, and the next one's black, and the next
lens cap.
They're all black. He either had the lens cap on or he overexposed them, but he lost them all.
Wow!
And so, yeah. All right. Well, why don't we wrap up this? Yeah, this is all meant to be fun. Again, Whitey he had mentioned 5 kits of the apocalypse a while back. I was like, well, that sounds like a fun topic, something, not delving into technique and all this other stuff, but then some of the fun stuff with our stashes. I have to admit, I was pretty freaked out when I added up all my kits. I'm like, really? I had over 500? What the hell? Now, granted, I'm going to try to sell like 100 of them at PAXCON. So,
can I borrow some of your table space? I'll gladly pay and rent my space, but I got some kits I won't put out there too.
You got kits? I don't know. I have to talk to Allison about it because I ain't selling my kits. She's going to sell them for me because I'm going to be busy.
Yeah. But that means she's got to keep the money separate.
She's got, yeah.
Oh, Darren, it just so happens I only sold yours for $5.
Green stickers versus red stickers.
Yeah. Anyway, but well, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is kind of fun talk about it. But I mean, I think in all seriousness, I really do wish that Tamiya would make a 30-second scale Mark 14 Spitfire or a Hornet, Legacy Hornet.
Hornet first.
Well, yeah, or it doesn't matter. Yeah, it would be good. Good times. All right. Well, cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for if you're still sticking around and listening to us. As always, we always enjoy talking about the hobby and doing our part to hopefully grow the hobby and bring some new folks in, and of course cater to some of the older folks that have been around with this hobby forever, and because we all love it. It's just something that in our spare time, and my goodness, I wish it could be my job, but I'm just not there yet. Maybe in a few years this could be my job. That'd be pretty awesome.
Man, that would be fun.
All we had to do is build models and talk models. It'd be awesome. I guess Tim's there. That's what Tim gets to do.
That's right.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. That's exactly all I do. I just build models and talk models, and occasionally get to do this thing called a podcast.
Yeah, go say
yeah.
Good deal.
But if you ask my wife that, she would say, no, I think you've got other things you do around the house. And,
I bet you do.
And that's not the only thing you do. And then there's also the sailing club thing.
Good, healthy mix. Good, healthy mix.
I mean,
balance.
This is golfing season for me. So I don't, if I'm either going to go play, if I have the choice of either building something or going and playing golf, I go play golf. So that's just how it is. Usually it's the fall, winter, spring. That's whenever I'm building the most. But I'll try to hop back on the bench here. Hopefully I can start cranking through some stuff. Work's going to simmer down here for a little bit, and I'm definitely looking forward to Nationals. So, hopefully, you folks will come out and see us. Please come by. We'll have a table and check out our seminar as well. But again, be fun to see everybody. And Nationals is just fun anyway. So please don't hesitate to drop us a line, come see us, swing by our booth, or anything. It's all good. But again, I think above all, this podcast wouldn't be possible if it wasn't all of our listeners, and of course our super generous sponsors. Furball Aero-Design, Detail and Scale, Bases by Bill, Tamiya USA, and SprueBrothers. We really appreciate all the support that we get from all the companies, and it's just a great group of people help keep this podcast going. But ultimately, we say this all the time: it's about you, the listener. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you. And you guys make this really enjoyable and a lot more fun than we ever thought possible. So again, just a huge thank you to all you folks out there. So, all right, man, we'll wrap up episode 60. I still have that's just crazy. Episode 60. That's just,
it's nuts.
That's crazy. It's awesome. But again, thanks to all the listeners and supporters over the past few years. It's just crazy how fast the time goes by.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
And,
it sure does.
And busy as shit. Anyway,
yeah.
That's all.
And thanks to of course, I want to thank my illustrious co-hosts, D-Ran, Whitey, Frill, and of course Tim as well. Thanks to all you guys, with the banter. And
it's a good time for sure.
It's just good time, man. Yeah. And hopefully you guys out there in Geekland appreciate that. But yeah, again, thanks for listening. And again, Tim, thanks for filling in for Frill. And Frill, watch out for that freaking spewing lava and volcanoes and shit. Yeah.
I said soap. Damn it. I said soap. He's got burnt armpits. No.
Jeez. Anyway. All right. Well, again, thanks again,
my
everybody.
Delivery was off, but I'm pumped.
Hey, I was laughing.
It's a way homer.
Yeah.
We'll get it on the way home. Anyway, well, hey, you guys have a great evening. Thanks again, fellas, for another great episode. Thanks to everybody for listening. Hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed sitting here and BSing about the hobby, hopefully growing it. And just thanks again for making us part of your valuable bench time. So until next time, be excellent to each other and get out there and build something. All right. So out from the geeks. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Later, guys.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.